Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Indigo Chameleon. A very, very exciting night here for us as we are about to stream our 5e game Wonder. Woo woo woo! I should have had the sound effect ready. Thank you everybody for tuning in and joining us this evening. We've got a few quick announcements before we get started. Here on Indigo, there's always something kind of cool and fun going on. On Thursday, we've got a brand new one-of-its-kind shows that we have been talking about, and I encourage everybody that's viewing right now to please tune in for that. We've got a lot of people in our life that have seen the sort of passion that we bring with D&D and are interested in learning how to play, but they want to do so in a safe environment. So this Thursday is going to be Ready to Roll. It is a sort of beginning training camp for people that are brand new to D&D. They're going to be playing their very first ever game of D&D. For some of them, they are very excited, and some of them are very trepidatious. But I would love to fill the room with encouragement. So if you can tune in and just give a shout out and be like, "Hey, you're doing great," or like, "Do awesome." We'll also have fun ways for you to sort of influence their roles and provide support using bits and things of that sort. But more of that later. Tune in on Thursday at 8 o'clock. For that. Also on Sunday, it is our regular game night here on Indigo. Don't know what we're going to be doing. It's usually a mishmash of like card games and board games and things of that sort. Last week, Indigo and I sat and basically we were going to teach a card game. Never really got around to it. It just wound up turning into this fun sort of Q&A where we talk about movies and books and television shows. But we had a great time, and hopefully you guys had a great time as well. So tune in for more of that. We want to thank our sponsor tonight, Critical Dice. Thank you so much, Critical Dice, for helping sponsor this particular show on Twitch. Critical Dice is sending us their giveaways. They have shipped out today. I got a little picture of it. I still don't know what these cool exclusive dice look like. We are big fans of Critical Dice, and we are subscribers to their endless bag of dice. So much so that they are partnering with Wonder, and they are offering you, our viewers, this special exclusive code that you're going to be able to type in. Type in the code EBOD, capital EBOD, and you will get 25% off your first month subscription to the endless bag of dice. It's $7 a month, and each month they send you a brand new, unique pair of dice that you can only get through their service. So Critical Dice, thank you so much, and thank you for sponsoring the show. All of that being said, I think we're ready to kick things off and get into tonight's episode. On the last episode, on the previous episode of Wonder, you guys went through quite a bit, actually. You left your bandy with your cool marquee turtle friend and had an adventure of sorts. It was a sort of not necessarily a one-shot, but it was a very like self-contained episode, and I kind of want to lean into more of those, giving you guys some like little piecemeal things. It was your pajama jammy jam. You formulated a plan, you executed it to kind of perfection, and everything went well because you guys actually had like backup plans, and there were drinking contests and changing of appearance. There was barding. There was a very cathartic, deep, emotional moment for our good friend who's living in the skies right now. That poor guy, and having to deal with dragons and things of that sort. And so. Yeah, all of that being said, you guys came home, and as you came home after this adventure, celebrating in sort of the being able to return back to the exclusive club in Wonder, the Cheshire Club, you went through the Lost and Found, picked up a couple of items. Hopefully you've added those items to your inventory sheet using D&D Beyond. Thank you, D&D Beyond, for making things so user-friendly. And after all of that, you came back into town, heading up to the tavern, which you call home, and Bandy sort of running up towards you and casting a spell after seeing one of you cast it. And that is where we pick up this evening. So, heroes, it's been a long day. You're back home for the time being. You're at the inn. You each have your sort of respective rooms. Are you doing anything before you bed down for the night? Are we grabbing drinks?
Yeah,
visiting?
drinks. Definitely drinks.
Drinks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you head to the bar, and then at this point, you've sort of become the big spenders in town. Service is always impeccable, and drinks are waiting for those who are ready and willing and have coin in hand. I would imagine too that there's food sort of already prepared for all of you, and as you come back into the bar, and you do notice that without even asking, Marquis sits down at the table with you guys and hasn't paid for a drink or food yet. But,
what a move!
But it's just like losers, right? And like just eating food and drinking, and hanging out. So.
I'm happy to see that he's moving away from the diet of cats. It's a good sign.
Yeah, man. Oh, he's talking about me.
Well, as you are the person who prefers that delicacy.
I mean, it's natural, but it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I like cats a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to judge, man.
To each their own. To each their own.
To eat their own.
Oh.
Or also that.
Yeah. Man. I'm pretty sure when in Rome.
You eat cats in Rome? Where's Rome?
Yeah, man.
I think he said home.
Home?
He said home. Yeah, it was
home,
a
Rome.
missound. That's what he
No.
No, Rome.
All right, folks. Everybody give me a perception check. I'm telling by the looks on their faces that there was three total. Man, you're doing great. Food is awesome.
I forgot. She's better with perception. 17.
17. 4. You're also doing great. You guys are black eyes.
Jokes on you. 5.
That team was
3, 4, 5.
strong.
We have a 3 and a 4 and a 5.
18.
Oh.
18. I would say the two of you guys notice as you're eating food, it's a subtle move, but Bandy, your sort of what looks like a tabaxi at the moment, but you all know her for the two-headed sort of green creature that she is, keeps an eye on the door. She'll be eating food, but occasionally she'll sort of look up as if she's lost in thought and just sort of eye the door a little bit, and then sort of bring her head back down.
Are you weary of something?
Weary of something?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
What are you looking at through the door? At the door? In the door?
Among the door, near the door, through the door.
Magic.
You see magic? What kind of magic?
And she gets up and she looks like she's squinting, and she goes over and she picks up a cup, puts the cup on the table and goes like this, and the cup sort of stands up and just sort of moves on the table a little bit, and then looks around at all of you and then shatters.
Well, that was delightful.
Did you do that? Is that what's at the door?
Past door.
Is it something troubling? Something that we should go seek?
Go see?
Alright, do we take this or do we let them in on it?
Well, they're all doing quite fine. I think we should.
I gotta at least let them know. Hey guys, Bandy sees something. We're gonna just head outside. We'll be right back. You're welcome to join.
Well, I'm coming with you, dear.
Of course you are.
Of course I am.
Alright, Bandy, let's
The
just
whole
go
thing.
check it out and then we'll come back here.
Bandy sort of walks outside. I would say it's late evening, the two of you stay, and they're like, no, we're right behind you, you've already left. Goodbye, I love you. There's a moment as you three sort of step outside, and Bandy sort of steps outside, and she walks to the town square. Think of this almost like an old sort of western town with everything in sort of a central area. And she takes a few steps forward down the road, and then stops and then looks off and then comes back to the center, and she walks that way a little bit and then stops and then comes back to the center and then just sort of plops on the ground and lays spread arms and legs spread akimbo and just sort of looks up at the stars and just sort of keeps looking up at the stars and then sits up and shakes her head.
Is the magic that way? Pointing off the first direction that she was looking.
Yes.
And is the magic that way?
Yes.
And the magic is that way?
No.
Is the magic near or far away?
Yes.
Is the magic near?
Yes.
Is the magic far away?
Yes.
Can you take us to the magic?
She looks confused, and she
Is the magic within 30 feet?
she gets frustrated within you, and she tries to project an image into your head of somebody sitting down and then like smelling something and like looking around, almost like she's trying to portray to you senses not working, or like it's too much to pinpoint.
I hold her hand and I say, "Can you take us to the magic?"
And she nods her head and she walks you forward a little bit, and she gets to the outskirts of the town. Like you guys walk for I would think a good 5 minutes, and are you two sort of trailing behind them at this point? They're gone for a while.
Okay.
I'd go a few.
Yeah, we would probably try to catch up.
She okay. Give me a just give me a perception check as the two of you sort of look out. It's dark, but it's not too dark. We ain't found.
14.
You kind of see some shapes off in the distance, and I would say that you would recognize Thoe, even though she's shorter than the average for a blog. She's about a size that she's hard to miss.
Right.
And so as you sort of see them off in the distance, you hurriedly catch up. She gets to the outskirts of the town, and you see this line below you. Imagine like a subdivision, but there being a physical line to show you where the subdivision ends, and it's white rocks forming this little sort of circular band in the ground, and as you look, it sort of encompasses a good portion of Droth as it sort of goes around. But it's something you never really paid attention to or noticed. You didn't know if it was aesthetic or not. But she's currently stopped at the line.
Is there magic on this side? And there's magic over here. Do you need that magic over there?
No. Hungry.
Okay. I'll just reach into my pocket and see if I can find like a little portion of my rations I can just like rip off to her and give her some.
She takes them and she like sniffs them and throws them on the ground. And she kind of looks off in the distance, off into the sort of the wooded area.
Are we caught up?
You're caught up at
We're
this
caught
point,
up.
and it's getting darker.
Do you eat magic?
Food. You need magic for magic.
Well,
Circle.
makes sense. Your hat eats hats.
Well, that's
So-
where I got the idea.
But then you would say that she eats her kind. If his hats eat hats.
Well, she's magic. She's from magic.
So she says she needs magic to.
She says magic for magic, circle.
She's used several spells.
So without discussing it with them, Day's just gonna send her a message and is this enough magic? Does this help?
Little. She sends back.
Maybe we should keep walking for a little while, and then if it takes too long, we'll head back and we'll go tomorrow.
Well, sounds sound.
Can you take us to what you need?
Yes. Sleep first?
If possible, yes.
Can't
She sort of looks off in the distance and turns around and reaches out for a Day and Thoe, like to take their hands and sort of like walk back towards where the inn is. And she sort of reaches up to you. Oh, it's the most childlike she's been around you.
Day grabs her hand.
So, yeah, I'll take her hand and we'll head back.
Yeah, she's acting differently.
Day sends her another message and just, we'll get you sleep, we'll get you magic.
Okay. You guys head back to the inn. I think without saying another word, she sort of walks past everyone and up to the room that you were sharing and climbs into bed and curls up into a little ball and just pulls the covers over her head.
Okay.
before we separate, I'm gonna pull Zoe aside for a second. If she needs it, I do have that mimic blood. It would inherently have some magic.
That makes sense. I don't know if that would help, but we can always offer it. I don't want to turn her into some sort of like weird mimic vampire thing or anything, but you know.
I'll give her 1 vial of the mimic blood because I have 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Everybody beds down for the night?
Yep.
Zoe, give me perception at disadvantage.
Oh, well, the first one was really good. The second one was crap. So that'll be a 9. It would have been a 22.
At a 9?
But it was a 9.
You're great.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Everything
Everything's
is
cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome.
Living the dream.
Everybody wakes up.
Nice.
Next morning, full rested, refill those hit points, refill those spell slots after the events of the previous day. Any items that you picked up that needed to be attuned, I'm not sure there were any, but if you had any, those are now officially attuned to you. The teacups also have a charge within them if you would like to use them at any given point. However, there is a major difference. I'm assuming the 2 of you shared a room again, or did you get your own room?
We did.
There's only one way to find out.
Actually, I need you to roll percentile dice for me.
I love what a good incentive.
Purple dice.
I don't
Using the
have
purple dice.
I have green and gray.
Here, you know what? Because it's for both of us, I'll let you use one of mine.
Yeah.
Which one do you need?
Okay.
Here, take that one. No, you have to use that and the purple one.
There we go. That's.
It's a 5.
Yep.
5?
Yep.
Like 5 total on percentile dice?
0, 0, and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely sleeping in the same room. But I will leave it to the lady to decide if anything happened during that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Second night in a row, you guys, it's not hiding it. Like, they both come out looking kind of rested.
She only needs 4 hours of meditation. It's a whole night. I mean, come
Whatever you
on.
want to
I
meditate
am an
I slept on the
animal.
roof again.
You wake up, Zoe, and Bandy is gone.
Oh gosh. So I go out and I immediately, whatever room is closest, whether it's theirs or theirs.
Probably theirs. Tick, tick, tick.
Hello?
Hello.
You two are.
Now don't be so weirded out.
Bandy's gone!
What do you mean Bandy's gone?
And she'll push him aside. What? Where is she? You don't know where she is?
If I knew where she was, I would be finding her right now.
Okay, there's no need for the sass.
Sass schmaz.
We will find her.
Okay. I think we should go to the place where. Well, let's go get them, and then let's go to the place where. I'm so sorry, I'm flustered.
It's
Okay,
okay,
so
Tia.
Nyx, and we need Nyx and Mandrake, and then we need to go get
Yes.
Bandy.
Okay, you go get Nyx. I'll go get Mandrake, okay?
They're not in the same room, too, are they?
I sure hope not. But it's possible. Love does weird things like that.
Oh, is that what this is?
I'll be downstairs later.
See you soon. She goes to Mandrake's room.
I'm on the roof. Oh no.
He's on the roof. She goes to the roof.
To the roof.
Yeah. I think Mandrake being on the roof would wake up when the sun started rising. So you're probably up and at 'em.
Yeah.
I mean, and downstairs.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So.
So she checks his room, checks the roof, gets downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm at
Well, it took long enough.
Okay.
All right, hello?
Oh, I opened the door. Good morning.
Morning, Bandy's gone. I mean, good morning. You should get up and get dressed and things like that. Not that you're not dressed because you're in, but, you know, we should go, Bandy,
Okay.
find her.
Yeah. And I get dressed. Or whatever.
Yeah, you guys sort of all convene and sort of spread the news, and as you do, you guys notice that Marquis has basically passed out in sort of one of the same places that he passed out the night before, and the people that run are like looking down at the floor and just sort of like stepping over him or walking around him and stuff like that. So so he sort of stirs as you guys are coming in, and what? She's gone? Oh man.
And were you down here all night?
Yeah.
And you didn't by chance had seen her
No.
coming and go?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah, she walked out the front door.
You didn't do anything?
Was I supposed to?
Oh.
She's a child.
It's a small child.
Marquis, it's okay. You didn't know, but from now on, yes, stop the child from leaving.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a glandular.
Why would it land? What?
Well, like the. Yeah, she went that way.
I'll be heading up towards that direction.
Didn't
Yeah.
we leave her to be babysat by him last
Yeah.
night?
But she also slept with you, so, you know.
I am a very responsible person, thank you
I
very
don't
much.
doubt that.
The child is missing.
But yes.
By the way, did you use the mimic blood, or
No,
may I have it back, please?
yes.
As you walk out the front door, give me a survival check. If you're just you looking around for any tracks. If anybody else has survival,
It's going to be
8.
I don't have survival.
No.
9.
I'm not going to.
I do not. I mean, I have
You've
plus
got
3, but I don't have
I have
proficiency.
jack of all trades.
No.
11.
It's not that hard that you do see the sort of like steps in the dirt and stuff like that, and it's the same path that you guys sort of walked this way, when she walked you to the edge and stuff like that. I imagine as soon as she points that out, you guys take off running to that
towards the
spot.
white stones.
There is a spot in the rocks where like there's 2 sets of footprints, and then all of a sudden the line in the rocks is burst outward. Almost as if whatever was standing here was grabbed and dragged.
And
So-
there's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, okay. I'm just trying to paint the picture. So where we were walking, there's 2 rocks like this, and they're broken in half.
No, think of it like a line of little white rocks.
Okay,
circling
got
the
it.
whole village.
Yeah.
But the spot where you guys were standing in the previous night, it looks like from where you were standing, the rocks are blown outward
Got it.
towards the woods. Whatever was standing there was either a great deal of force pushed these rocks this way, or whatever was standing there was dragged so that the feet kicked the rocks that way.
Is
Got
this like, and I guess she would probably know this because she's druid and stuff. Like, is this magic circle like?
Give me an Arcana check. But I will say, based on the nature.
I have no idea.
I have high arcana. Can I?
No.
It's a 9 to me, but
No, I would say with the 9, you know of the power of circles, and you know that different societies have used this in the past, like in terms of this, but you don't know if it's symbolic or magical. It's the reason people put gates around cemeteries. You don't know if it's to keep things in or to keep things out.
Right.
okay.
Okay. I'm going to quietly turn to Nyx and say, do you know anything about this?
Nah, man.
Are you sure?
I slept all night. So I
I'm
don't
not
know.
talking about this. I'm talking about this.
The circle of.
What could it mean?
It could mean that it's the town's perimeter. So like it's that side's like outside the town. And we're inside the town.
He gives wonderful information.
He's so perceptive.
Such a good character.
Now, having been around her for a while, would like her scent be something I could pick up?
I would allow you to give me another check.
Word.
As you're sort of like looking around, just you, as you're sort of like breathing in and stuff like that. If you give me your beast shape, I'll let you do it at advantage. If you want to channel that side of you and let it out.
Yep, I'll shift for this instance. Because that makes so much nicer. At advantage. And this is going to be for survival?
Yeah.
12.
Okay, so all of a sudden you guys see as Grim sort of like shakes its head and loosens up a little bit, and without missing a beat, shifts down to all fours. And as he shifts down to all fours, his claws sort of come out, and he instinctively like claws the dirt and shifts it behind him. And as it does, your vision sort of clouds over a little bit, and you're sort of like in the woods, and you got your eyes closed, and you smell and you smell and you smell, and then your eyes open, but they're really dilated. And as they're really dilated, you actually see a sort of winding path through the woods where her smell is going, and Grim takes off. Like hunter instinct kicks in, and you don't know why it kicked in so sharply. He just bolts off into the tree, off past the tree line into the forest.
Bye.
I'm taking off.
Taking off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking off?
Following.
She takes a moment and just like, woof, and then she'll take off.
I've always been a dog person.
I have a feeling I've seen him sort of a little bit in the past couple nights, but
Deja vu. Everyone sort of takes off.
Before we get too far, I'm gonna turn around and put the white stones back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you do that.
No?
I'm not going to let you keep pace with the group and put the stones back. You can give me one or the other, but you're going to be on your own tracking them down through the forest.
No, I'll keep pace.
Okay. There's a moment of hesitation, and you're like, nope. And you go, and I can even imagine you sort of awkwardly like shuffling rocks a little bit as you
Right.
sort of like push them forward a little bit. So as you do, you guys all sort of take off. You are running for a good bit of time. It's almost like you feel the bee sense in you start to sort of wane even after that minute, but you still sort of keep going, starting to try to hold on to it for as long as possible. You get a boost of speed when you get close to a tree and you feel the bee sense wavering, and all of a sudden you smell something and it is blood. And it is some of those hunter instincts kick in, and you go over to the tree and you start sniffing the tree, and it's Bandy.
And I'm shifted back.
Yeah.
Listen, the tree, the smell, it's Bandy. It's
Like she turned into the tree, or like
no, it's
well, you would know as a druid, wouldn't you? Possibly anything? Is that something you know?
Where do you have a trail? Do you have it?
it seems to end here.
Oh God.
Blood.
okay, so trees don't bleed, so probably not that.
Does she have anything on her that I would know of, even if
she-
it's just like clothing or a vest or something?
Yeah,
like
I
that?
would say that you guys gave her some stuff. You gave her the bare essentials, and you brought her into town and stuff like that. Give me a perception check, as I guess the rest of you are sort of looking around.
Yeah, I was gonna look around the tree in the area.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Are we all looking?
Nat 20.
Nice.
I'll just save my dice.
Hold on to that, big guy. Madigan and Day, you guys stop and you sort of shift perspective, and she kind of looks over at you, and she sort of stands upright and looks over you as you're sort of like on your head, and as you do, you off in the distance you see a house. It's almost like this little side path that goes through, but you see a house off in the distance. Very beautiful, lots of different colored flowers on the house. Looks very inviting from where you are.
That looks.
How about feet wise? How far away is it from us?
Yeah.
50 feet?
50 feet.
I'm gonna
Okay.
cast message and see if I can find her. Are you in a house? Where are you, babe? Where are you, Bandy?
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no! God. 12.
Day gets, you send, hey, Bandy, are you in there? Are you? And as you send this message off towards the house, something hits you in the chest. It feels like when you can't catch your breath or something hits you like this, you just get a flash of pain or hurt or something like that, and it goes backwards. So you guys are watching as Day sort of falls backward towards the ground, like she's going to hit the ground hard.
Does she look injured?
I catch her before she hits the ground.
Give me a dexterity check.
14.
Yeah. He just sort of runs up and sort of catches it. Doesn't look injured, but she's breathing hard. It didn't hurt. You're not taking any
It just feels
damage. Yeah.
hard. It just okay.
Emotional gut punch.
Cool. That's totally. That's just everyday life for day. Let's go. Let's bring it. Hi. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Are you alright?
It just hurts.
What happened?
I tried to find her using message, and it's just like a wind pushed me back, and it knocked the breath out of me.
Wait, have you guys been having secret messages, like, in thought this whole time?
You haven't?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
She just gets up, like, she's good, she could get up and dust herself off. She's, well, you would know about secrets, wouldn't you?
I'm gonna turn to Grim and say, did the path lead that way? And point towards the house.
I'm assuming it keeps going, but it gets lost. But yes.
Guys, I don't want to waste time. Can we at least, like, I'm going to look around this house. I'm going to look around the outside. Does anybody want to go with me?
I'm ready to go in
If
at
there's
this point.
if there's a front door,
Bright, sunshiny day. You get up to the perimeter of the house. Everybody's smiling. White ring of rocks, very similar to the ones you found, circling the house. Who's stepping over?
Okay.
Grim, the minute
Oh, wait. Oh, go ahead.
No.
No, Grim
Yeah,
did.
Grim did it.
Grim steps over.
Did it.
Grim
For
steps
once, I
over
wasn't
the
the
line.
impulsive one.
The first time Maverick is like,
egg.
well, maybe we shouldn't. And Grim's like, what?
What? Over here, guys.
Grim, the minute you step over the line, and anybody doesn't follow him, right? You just wait to see the Grim.
Wait.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to.
As
Go ahead.
normal, it's just
Um,
what it is.
It's nighttime.
I'm worried about it.
It's dark. It's super dark. You look over across the line, and these guys are bathed in moonlight. But it was early morning.
Can we see him?
You can.
Does
He looks shocked. He like steps over the line and kind of looks back over at you guys, looks down at the ground.
But it's still daylight for us.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It was just midday. Just a second.
It's still midday.
No, like it. Just the moon. I don't.
I'm gonna stick my head over the rocks.
Alright. Yeah. It's nighttime.
Okay. Oh, he's right.
So I'm not going crazy.
I'm stepping over.
Cool.
I'll step over, and then once I realize I'm gonna go half and half, so I can see both at once.
Are you going to straddle the line, or are you stepping over?
I'm gonna
and then
step over, see what happens, and then after I realize that, I'm gonna straddle. Yeah.
Okay.
This is weird.
I'm going to step back and forth a couple of times and see if I can figure out what this spell is. I mean, I know I can't figure out what the spell is, but, you know.
Give me,
That was gonna
give me
be-
an Arcana check.
No.
3 plus.
Magical magic, the magic that's magic. The magical can come true.
So anything that you deduce from this, or Thoe?
It's magical.
Thank you. Okay.
I guess I could do a detect magic, but it's obviously magic, and it'll tell me the school of magic, but that's not necessarily going to help us a lot, and I should probably save that spell for sometime later.
I
Dave's
would
gonna go up to Nyx and just get real close to his ear and whisper, "This would be an excellent time to help out your new friends if you could."
Yeah, it would be. I'm gonna walk the line.
The perimeter of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, as you walk the perimeter of the house, it's a very large estate. The majority of the outside of the house that you can see is covered in these flowers that seem to be popping out of the walls. There's two different types of flowers, and they look to be interspersed. One is this bright orange flower. It almost looks like the sun rising in the sky. The other flower is a rainbow flower, and it seems to shift, and the petals are different colors, and the rainbow just sort of keeps moving around the flower as you look at it.
Did anyone follow me for my perimeter sweep?
I don't believe so.
If when I'm behind the house, I'm gonna reach down and cast Identify on the rock.
On the rock itself.
Now
Any of those
yourself.
small rocks.
Yeah.
Okay, Identify can tell you any sort of magical qualities associated with it, correct?
One object. If it's a magical item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them.
Okay, this is...
I don't know if that counts.
This rock is a particular rock that is imbued with a spell. And you pick up one of the tiny rocks. And it is a form of planar shift.
Planar shift.
Okay.
You know enough about magic to know that this is super powerful.
Great. Alright.
Mandrake is going to
I'll
go and take a
pocket
look
that
at the
rock.
flowers.
Okay. What of the flowers are you going to look at?
I'm going to start with the rainbow flower.
Okay. Are you touching it? Are you smelling it? How are you
I
examining
want to
it?
pick one.
Okay. You pick one of the flowers. Give me a D8.
5.
You pick one of these rainbow flowers and you sort of look at it and you're examining the flower, and as you guys all look at Mandrake, Mandrake on all of his clothes, including the hat, turn a purple color.
Cool.
Do I notice that
You
they've
do
changed?
not.
It is an interesting flower, yes.
You're purple.
Excuse me.
What she means, dear, is that all of you has turned purple.
No, not his skin, just his clothing and stuff.
No.
His skin,
Skin,
too.
hair,
Yeah.
clothes.
Violet
I believe
is
this is a song
violet.
about a people eater that
Okay, I'll look at my hands. Do when I look at myself, I notice?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Is anyone close to me? Anybody nearby?
Yeah.
I hand the flower to Day.
Do you take it?
Of course.
Roll a D8.
Oh god.
7.
Okay. Dave, you turn this sort of blue. You get this blue hue to you. So you got blue and purple.
Did my color change?
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I stayed purple.
You stayed purple.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think we need to pass around this flower to discover its implications.
I'm gonna take the flower back, put it in my bag.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I would say you take the flower back and you preserve it in your bag.
Okay, and now I'm going to go and closely examine one of these sunflowers.
Perfect. You go over towards the orange sort of sunflower and you smell it. You pick it. What do you do?
I'm not gonna touch it right away.
Okay.
But I'm going to look really closely, maybe smell it.
Okay. He goes over. He smells the sunflower, and Madigan is out. Great. Unconscious.
Fantastic.
On the ground.
This is the least what we
Just fast asleep.
Just sleeping though.
Give me a medicine
no.
check.
Oh no, guys.
This house and all of its inhabitants were designed by a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. These are the first of the things that they designed.
Great.
That medicine check comes out to a 19. Oh, good one.
He is sleeping for the most part. You don't notice any. He's got a little bruise on the back of his head where he sort of passed out, but the hat cushioned a lot of it. And yeah, he's passed out on the ground.
She'll go over to him and look at the hat, and hold her hand out. May I?
And the hat gives a little bow.
And she'll just smack him to try to wake him up.
Oh, yeah. She smacks and you sort of
Excuse me.
snap out of it.
Okay.
Sorry,
Wake
dear. I
up.
didn't know how hard I had to hit you to wake you up.
Pollen. Sorry. Flowers.
Flowers.
Hey.
She's a druid that's allergic to
Oh my gosh, it's cannabis.
I would love to examine this. I would love to speak with plants. I'm going to need an inhaler.
Oh, happy Ben.
Amazing.
I'm gonna shake it off and
Pocket that
I'm
one.
gonna grab the flower, keep it far away from my face, and put it in my bag.
Sure.
Those are quite the dangerous little flower you have there. They could be useful.
Exactly.
I'm going to get a cloth out of my bag. I'm going to collect a specimen of each of the flowers. I'm actually going to collect several specimens, but I'm not going to touch any of them.
you're going to use the specimens. How are you going? So you're going to touch the tool and
Yes,
then
exactly.
take the specimens.
So what I'd like to do is take a piece of cloth and I'd like to pick 3 of the sunflowers
Oh,
with the
okay.
cloth,
All right. Wrap them in the cloth.
wrap them, and put them in my bag of holding.
Okay. What is your Constitution modifier?
My Constitution modifier is one. Oh.
Oh, okay. So I imagine you go and start picking these flowers up. It gets close to that end of time, but you manage to wrap up 3 of the sunflowers and put them.
Yes,
put
and
them
then I
away.
want to do the same thing with another little piece of cloth with 3 of the rainbow flowers.
Cool. Roll 3d8 for me.
She's gonna be rainbow bright in a second.
It changed
God.
his clothes color. You would think that.
No, it
It's
changed
just
all of
everything.
them.
No, but I mean
Stitch
by like
everything.
oh,
the cloth.
it didn't.
Oh, because
It
it
had
touched
nothing
the
to do
cloth
with
and
you
then
touching what,
okay.
like, what was changed.
I've got a 7, a 3, and a 2.
Okay, perfect. So you watch as the colors sort of, and until it gets to the end, and she's like, "I told you guys I was smart," and she's standing, and she's just bright yellow, bright yellow.
Well, it's a nice change from green.
Okay.
That's you.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna walk towards the door.
Yeah.
Perhaps we approach the home?
The door is a sturdy oak door, gold sort of handle. As you walk up towards it, you try the handle.
I'm gonna actually place my ear up against it and see any like fading of sounds, any movement inside.
Give me a perception check as you put your ear towards the door.
That's gonna be a 10. I'm sorry, 11.
You hear faint crying.
There's something inside.
May I?
By all means.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and use it to open the door.
Okay. You guys watch as a spectral hand, also wearing a very tiny spectral top hat, floats out from where Madigan is and grabs the door handle and opens it, and you hear the.
Why didn't we use that to get the flowers?
I didn't think of it.
The front door opens. Before you is a large, dark room. There is 2 doors leading into a foyer directly in front of you. There is a staircase, a large staircase leading up to the 2nd floor of the house. On midway up the staircase, there are torches up the staircase. Midway up the staircase, there is 1 torch that is still lit, but it looks like it is faintly lit. But you notice that there is a spot to adjust the flame on that particular sconce. So 2 doors leading forward into a little foyer that opens in front of you, stairway leading up.
Is it with having dark vision? Like, would I be able to see inside the house? Like, no problem. Or?
This is where it gets weird for you, because dark has never been an issue for you, and I don't think it's been an issue for Day either, or Thoe. You 2 are the only ones. But your dark vision is not kicking in, which leads you to believe the darkness that's in this particular room is magically based. But you don't understand why the light from that particular sconce is affecting things, why it's spilling outward.
Anyone else having trouble seeing here?
Always.
Well,
Okay.
I can't quite make out what's in the room, which is odd.
Well, I see 1 small light, and
Aside
that's
from
all
that.
I've got. So, makes sense. And she'll start walking up to adjust it.
Perhaps I should do that from here?
You know what? Good idea. She'll mage hand in there.
You send the mage hand up, and as the mage hand goes up, is everyone in the house at this point, or is everyone
Yes.
outside the house? As you go into the house, the door closes on its own. You're on the bottom floor. As you go and turn the switch on the sconce brightens, and more light floods into the room, and you see that upstairs the light extends, sort of pushing the darkness back, and you hear Day, and then a door slams shut.
I'm pulling out my daggers.
Yeah.
Get ready for a fight.
So the light is halfway up the stairs.
The light is halfway up the stairs. She just turned it up, and the light sort of pushed the darkness back, so you can see fully this room now.
Is this spiral staircase the one that it's like an actual spiral? Or is it kind of just go up like that?
No, it's like an actual spiral, spirals up alongside the wall. Do you know what I mean? Where it kind of curves up and heads up to the second floor.
What do we see around this room?
What you see around this room, you see lots of wooden furniture that you would see in sort of opulent settings. It's not something that you would be used to seeing in such a small town as this. A lot of gold filigree on the furniture and things of that sort. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, good. 15 plus 2, 17.
Okay, so you're looking around and you're noticing that the craftsmanship is of high quality, but there is a thin layer of dust over almost everything in the room. Now that the light has been turned up a little bit, you can see past to the 2 double doors that open in front of you into a little foyer, and it looks piled to the brim with refuse. Broken chairs, broken dishes, broken. It's almost like everybody did a mass cleaning and they shoved everything that was broken or dirty into this small room in the back.
Whoa.
I'm going to take my hat off, reach into my bag, grab another hat, shove it inside, and say, "We didn't feed you," and then put it back on my head.
No.
It
seemed to say.
Give me an animal handling check.
12.
At advantage.
15.
Don't forget that. You have that book now.
Right.
Yeah, the hat eats it, and there is a contented purr sound, which you have never heard from it before.
Okay.
Your hat is purring.
So
I guess I did something right for once.
she tries to do message again and to the voice. And
I think you need to know who you're sending the message to.
fair. Point a finger toward. Yeah, you would have to know.
And I think you need to be seeing the person you're sending it to for message. The creature you can see.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. So she'll just call out. She'll be like, "Banty?"
I think more of the quieter approach may be better.
If we're quiet, how will she hear us?
Thank you.
I'm just gonna slowly start inching my way across the floor, I don't.
Towards the stairs?
Yeah, towards the stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to follow him towards the stairs.
Stairs.
Yeah.
Stairs.
The 5 of you get on the stairs and you start climbing up, and as you get to the top of the stairs, you see Bandy. You were first. You actually see her, sort of pulled away, and she reaches out a hand to you and goes forward as if to embrace you, and as she does, a sort of darkened shape arm locks her, around the neck, and drags her back, and as she does, the sconce that was lit flips down, the stairs disappear, and you all slide down the stairs, sliding into a pit that is opened up into the floor, which is open like this. Mm-hmm. You are falling, and hit a darkened floor.
Can we see the top?
No. As you fall down this darkened floor, this is right, the floor closes, and you guys are on ground, but the floor above you has just opened and then closed like this.
So it's completely dark.
Nope, there are lights all around you.
Okay.
Light enough that you can see that what cushioned your fall is an obscene amount of gold.
Okay.
Gold, rubies, treasure. Give me a perception check as you look around.
12.
Imagine Scrooge McDuck's
DuckTales.
with just piles of platinum, gold, rubies, gleaming suits of armor, weapons scattered around. There is a large pedestal in the middle of the room that the treasure is sort of encompassing, and on this golden pedestal is a bronze lamp. It looks like an oil lamp.
Does it look like the light in this room is coming from that lamp?
No.
Is the light in this room focused on that lamp?
It is focused on that lamp.
Yeah.
Nobody touched the gold.
Is there any writing
Nobody
on
take
the lamp?
anything.
I'm already taking gold. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say.
How much gold do you
This
take?
seems.
I grab a handful of gold.
This seems
Yeah.
way too perfect.
Okay. You guys watch as he goes, wait, we're not supposed to, and he grabs, as he does, how much gold would you estimate?
Probably
20, 30?
I would say like 20 probably.
The group is swarmed. As he grabs the gold and stuff like that, not zombies, mummies pop out of the ground. The gold falling off of them, and as they do, they tear into each of you. You are swarmed in a matter of seconds, and the 5 of you, for the very first time in this campaign, die. You are overrun. You are completely surrounded, and the 5 of you, at the hands of these mummies,
Thanks.
No problem, guys.
die.
All right.
It would be out of character for me to do anything.
You,
I didn't
the light
prepare.
in your eyes go black, and you all look up, and you're in a white room. And there's a man sitting in a chair, and he's writing in a notebook, and he looks up at you, and he goes, "Oh, well, you're going to have to do a lot better than that."
Who was it?
And the lights go out, and you are in the foyer of the house, and the door closes behind you.
Do we remember anything?
You remember everything.
Awesome.
That was my bad.
All right.
Okay.
As much as I would like to smack you again, I don't feel like this is appropriate because you are not unconscious.
Let's try this one more time, shall we?
Alright.
In this particular adventure, if you make a skill check to get past something or do something along those lines, if you get to that point again, I'm just going to assume that you can make that skill check again. However, there will be multiple runs through. So if you make a skill check, be it a charisma or a lock-picking check, I will just assume that you can get to a certain spot again.
Like a checkpoint nearly?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we... To the stairs. Is rather safe.
Well, if we're going to go to the stairs, we need to have something prepared so that we can grab Bandy.
I can
Going on
I
the
can
stairs, we
leap
have to
towards
be
her.
up there before they become not stairs. So
I could always cast Mage Hand and hold the sconce in place.
That's a good idea.
for 10 pounds of pressure.
I don't know how much pressure it requires.
Some pressure.
And my boots can allow me to spring in a considerable distance, so I can at least lunge towards her in hopes to keep her out of harm's way.
Or one of us could stay at the sconce and try to hold it in place.
Or we could just not take the gold.
I've already
Or you
apologized.
can just not
I like Nyx more and more every minute.
So what say you?
I
Let's
say we
do
go
this.
to the stairs.
You go over to the stairs. It is pitch black dark. You cannot see in front of you.
I use my I have a thing, a light thing that hangs over my shoulder. I forgot
Dude,
about that
the
thing.
drift globe.
Yes, I have a drift globe.
Okay.
I use my drift globe
What's
To
drift?
cast what?
to cast. Okay, just to make sure I understand this correctly, because I can do the light cantrip but it's a cantrip, so it's anytime I want.
Correct.
Daylight is 1 time per day, but I
Correct.
can do that in addition to light cantrip.
I believe so. I believe you have charges in the drift globe.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do the light cantrip with it as a floating light over my shoulder.
Okay. You guys watch as Thoe sort of brings out this globe, and the globe sort of like nuzzles up to her, and then it like turns on, and it's a very bright light. And Thoe, you are able to see through the darkness fairly easily.
Can they see?
They
Is it
cannot.
lighting it up for them? Oh, I thought this would work for all of us. Sorry. I can see.
Shall I use Mage Hand to turn up the light again?
Are we at the top of the stairs?
No.
Or at the top of
We'll
the
walk
base?
it up.
Is there
At the top,
anything?
else
Is there anything in the house that might look useful? If you can see.
Well, we could see everything downstairs.
You could. There were the 2 doors leading into the foyer filled with refuse and trash.
Yeah.
And then the stairs leading up to the second floor.
Nothing that we couldn't see before.
And well, let us know if anything at the top of the stairs comes to mind. Anything that we could use, anything that might help us, or give us insight or something.
Okay, I guess I will. Now that you've said it,
Thank you. You're a gem.
you're welcome.
Zoe, I don't understand your magic very much, but is there any way this can help you see the figure that grabbed Bandy before?
I don't know, because I wasn't using it last time I saw the figure that grabbed Andy.
Perfect, then we'll learn together.
Yay!
As you walk up the stairs, get up there, and you guys are sort of like following suit with her, just sort of stumbling in the dark. You do notice, you see Bandy, and she comes running forward to hug you. You see an arm lock across her, and as it does, you catch a glimpse of this sort of haggard-looking woman. Stringy hair, sort of wrinkled, old, weathered features that sort of snarls at you, grabs Bandy, goes back into a door, the door slams shut.
Okay, so there's not enough time for me to cast a spell on her before she goes and slams it shut?
I would say that there's 6 seconds, so yeah, you could cast a spell on her.
I cast Charm Person!
Okay. What is the save for Charm Person?
The save for Charm, it's a Wisdom save of 13.
Okay. This is not something. This could be on me.
I sweep my spider leg and the skeleton.
Yeah. All the skeletons die.
13 wisdom save?
Yes.
Okay. As you send it outward, the spell hits. You feel the charm person sort of take into effect, and she stops where she is, still holding Bandy, sort of covering her mouth.
I'm not gonna waste any time and just. How far are we from the top of the stairs?
You have no idea.
Dang, then.
I'm doing this to her because would he be familiar enough with Charm Person by now? We've spent enough time together to kind of know how it
He
works.
could not see, regardless of whether he was familiar with Charm Person or
Oh, so
not.
he can't see what's going on.
Could you tell me where we're going? Okay, if you could see, like, if I'm telling you, hey, I want to, like, leap towards her, could you tell me, like, how far?
I could, but you're gonna have to ask me because I can see her and you can't.
How far are we from the door?
Just wait. Let me talk to her first. She stopped.
We don't have time.
Don't attack her. Trust me. Don't attack.
Please.
Trust me. Give me a chance.
You have seconds.
Hello, friend. Hi. That's we're her family. Can you give her to us, please?
Her bones and things start snapping, and like joints start snapping out of place, and she strides forward towards you with Bandy still sort of tucked under her arm. She still has one sort of arm locked beside her, and as she does, she gets closer and closer to you. As she gets closer to you, you are seeing the water that seems to be pouring out of every orifice of this woman. It's dripping out of her ears, her nose, even her eyes. And you guys catch the scent of salt water.
But we still can't see
You
her.
still can't see anything. And she creeps forward towards you
Speak to us, though.
and holds out a hand.
Can I turn the lights on?
I create the sound of the ocean, just in the room. Like,
How do you do that?
with Dirtcraft. You create an instantaneous, harmless sensory effect, such as falling leaves, puff of wind, sound of an animal, faint odor of a skunk. So it can be a sound as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
She sort of looks up in surprise at that, and as she looks up in surprise, she sort of like tilts her head, and her hand is wavering a bit as she sort of looks up at the sound of that.
I say, friend. Next one, I create the odor of the sea, because I can also do odors.
Okay. She looks at you and comes forward a little bit more. That smell of salt is getting bigger and bigger, and you're hearing what sounds like maybe like birds off in the distance, and you're just hearing her friend, like you're hearing Thoe speak out loud. As she looks forward towards you, you hear, "Friend,
I'm gonna try to sneak close enough, like very slowly, like reaching out to her friend and talking really, really softly to try to get within reach of Bandy
Okay.
to grab her hand and pull her as fast as I can.
Okay. You reach forward to Bandy, and Bandy hands her arm out to you, and you grab her hand and you pull it towards you.
Yeah.
You pull and you pull Bandy towards you, but Bandy feels weird. Bandy feels like extra hairy and like larger. And as you pull Bandy towards you and you sort of look down, you are holding a giant spider that is a bright blue color. And you hear a laugh from the top of the stairs as this figure floats past back to that door, slams it shut. Everybody needs to roll initiative for me, please.
That one, y'all.
13.
Who got 20 to 15? 20 to 15. Nobody. 15 to 10.
13.
11.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Zoe. 1. Ooh, Grimmy. No, baby, no.
I know.
No, mama, no. Yes.
6.
6. Alright. Day.
8.
Okay. Ooh, cool.
Better to use it now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Put it on.
Everyone needs a
Get
nap
it
one.
out of the way.
You, as this sort of blue spider sort of lurches forward, you hear the sound of things dropping from the ceiling as 2 more of these sort of blue spiders drop from the ceiling as well. That being said, Madigan, it is your turn.
I hate spiders. We're all standing on the stairs.
You have no idea that there are spiders in this room.
Oh, that's true.
Oh no.
No.
You
No.
Oh no.
Oh
Use
no.
your action for the light.
That is quite enough of this. And I turn the light on. I
Okay.
use Mage Hand and turn the dial.
Cool. The floor turns into a slide. You all sort of drop down. The spider jumps away. Madigan, Thoe, Nyx, Day, and Grim, you guys slide down. There is a thunk as you land. The floor closes up above you, and you are in a room filled with treasure with a lamp on a pedestal in front of you.
Don't touch it. Do we just look at him at the same time?
I am not an idiot. I won't touch the gold this time. Platinum's good though, right?
Please just don't touch anything, just for the sake of it all.
So all we see is treasure and a lamp in the middle.
Lamp in the middle.
I started
Okay.
towards the lamp in the middle.
Okay. It is it's a unique lamp. This is unlike any sort of lamp that you've ever seen before.
top.
It's
Question.
like yeah.
Did the spider fall with us?
No, it did not.
Okay, just making sure.
It is. It almost looks like a little basin, like almost like you could pour something out of it.
Like a genie lamp?
Yeah, actually,
What?
very much so.
Very
like
much like a
genie
genie
lamp.
lamp.
Crazy.
Is there any writing on it?
You rubbing the lamp?
Strange little monkey.
So you guys watch as you're like, is there any writing on the what?
Let me
This is a recurring theme in the campaign.
Hey,
So it's
walk
like,
real
now
fast.
let's be smart.
that-
I'm sorry. As you rub the lamp, there's the smoke that emits from the lamp. It is a bluish smoke, and it sort of comes floating out of the lamp itself. And as it takes form, it coalesces into that of a human form. Standing before you is the floating spectral form of a man wearing long blue robes. He is wearing a crown on top of his head, and he has a long white beard. And he says, you've done it. You've come. This is remarkable. Thank you. God, thank you. I've been there for quite some time. I assume you've dealt with the hag, and everything is to be accounted for. And no mummies. You have not grabbed the treasure. That's good.
The hag.
We saw the heck. I didn't get to tell you guys yet. There was a woman with stringy hair upstairs, and you saw before. It looked like she had Bandy, but then when I grabbed Bandy turned into a spider. I don't think it was Bandy.
Cool.
She smelled like the
So
ocean.
We did all
So-
the things you didn't want us to do properly.
Oh, well,
We didn't touch the treasure this time.
hey,
time.
I guess that's fine. Yes, this time. Yes, I'm remembering the white room. Yes, that was me as a much younger man. I do still have some control over here. Give me a history check.
Oh boy.
You can give me a history check as well.
Oh no.
No, I can't.
It's an 11.
It would be a 3 plus probably not something good. Oh, 4, 7.
He looks familiar. He looks familiar to you. You recognize him as well, but you can't quite place who he is. But he looks familiar to the two of you.
Who are you?
I am King Cameron Undava.
King Cameron?
Cameron or Cam Undaver.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
The minute he says it, you recognize him as as one of the first kings of Wonder, like back in the day. He was a very powerful wizard, magician. Sort of disappeared. The queen remarried. Everyone suspected foul play, but nothing could ever be pinned, and that's what actually made her sort of the reigning person of the kingdom at the time.
So, for a king, why are you stuck in this vase?
This place is it's an odd place. It is a nexus, if you would. The lines. Do you know much about the plane system? Different worlds on top of ours, dimension. You look very confused.
I've read a lot of books on
Zoe.
this.
Yes.
I haven't really experienced it firsthand.
Oh, of course. Imagine worlds, layers upon worlds, and there are certain places where the planes get wonky, and this is one of those places. I came here to study and practice my magics, and something went horribly wrong.
So, layers like an onion.
Or a parfait. Parfaits are delicious. Have you ever went to someone and said, "Oh, let's go get a parfait," and they're like, "Hell no, I don't like a parfait." Parfaits are probably the most delicious thing on this whole damn planet.
I love me some parfaits.
This is all very interesting,
Yes,
but you came from a lab.
yes, yes. I was sequestered here. My magic is strong, but I was greedy. I summoned more and more and took more and more, and I'm surrounded by the treasures and riches that I so sought out. There is a woman here, and she, like me, is searching for power. You must stop her. She seeks items of powerful magical energy to fuel her machinations, to burst a hole into the world of the dead.
So what do we need to know in order to leave this place, in order to get what we came for?
Well, you must continue onward. There is a path that I could create for you, and he looks forward and says, "My power is not great, but what I have of it is yours." And he takes both of his hands and rubs them together and pushes them forward like this. And as he does, he separates them. And as he does, the gold and platinum lift up as a giant wave, sort of like lifted and pushed to the side, almost like Moses parting the Red Seas. And as he does, there's a small door that has been pushed away. The gold has been pushed away from, leading away from this room. And he said, "Follow this pathway. It will take you to the room with many doors, and it will be the only way to reach her. I will do what I can. Help me, and I can grant you what I've learned." And as he says that, he is sucked back into the lamp.
And does like the gold in the room, like can everything start coming like towards the door?
It's starting to slowly creep forward.
I'm just going to
towards
just
the
take
door.
off towards
Book
the
it
door.
towards the door.
Yep. You book it towards the door. As you book it
Do
towards,
we have time to grab the lamp on the way?
you go to lift the lamp up, and you lift, and it's stuck.
Gotcha.
It's
Cool. I'm
good.
going.
So you run. As you run and get to the door, I would say everybody gets through in time as the gold sort of comes back to its final resting place, and you are in a room. There's faint light coming in from below the cracks of the door and through the cracks. Everyone give me perception checks.
13.
14.
You are in a
14.
long, dark hallway. And as you look down this hallway, above on the ceiling, hanging, are as many as you can count bats. They're all sleeping at the moment, but they're all there in the hall.
Okay.
Only we had a ring that would help us to communicate with animals. Oh no. Oh good. Okay. And at the end of the hallway, there's doors.
Yep.
Okay. 7 of them.
No.
Nope. Just one. I think we should go through the door now.
When she says, I think we should go through the door now, all of the bats wake up, there's this, and they all sort of swarm over you, and then you are dead. In the white space, again, sitting there, there's a man standing there, and he's like, well, that wasn't great. And you're back in the foyer of the house, in the sort of the main room.
Are you having fun?
Are you?
I don't particularly like dying.
Me either. Do you have a better idea?
Yes, let's do it right.
I'd just like to point out it wasn't me this time.
What alternative to the door did you think there was?
Alternative. We were heading towards the door. I could have turned into a bat. I don't know about the rest of you. What, you want to turn into a bat with me? We can fly through there together.
We didn't have to say it out loud.
That's
since
actually
it
a
was
great
the
idea. I would think that'd be
obvious
wonderful.
choice.
I could have cast
Are
sword
we
burst.
skipping right to the hallway?
Yeah.
All right, you skip right back to the hallway.
Well, no, but while we're in the treasure room, let's come up with a plan for the bat room.
Oh, yeah.
How far
We
is the
stay
hallway? How long is
quiet
the hallway?
and we walk forward.
It's a fairly long hallway.
Just a lot to say
I
for
would
Bond.
say it's hard to gauge because you can see this door at the other end of the hallway. If you had to guess, I would say about 50 feet.
If I really need to, I mean, I don't want to use it up too early, but my ball can do daylight once, and I bet those bats would not like daylight. I bet they would stay away from it. They'd at least close their eyes, and they might not fly
Try it
towards
and
us.
not die.
I could
If
also,
we can't get through the room in time.
I could also cast sword burst and
Well,
swords.
don't kill the bats. Jeez.
It's kill or be killed.
To be fair, they did kill us once, so like.
Yeah, but if we can get through without killing the bats, I really prefer that.
I think it's quite possible we could just walk through if we're all very quiet and patient.
Well, honestly, if we try, and then if we die, we just start back over, right?
And if we try and they swarm, we can do the ball thing, but at the end of the day,
We don't know how
They
many
woke up
times
'cause
we're
we were
allowed to
loud.
like not die.
That.
Maybe like let's not take it for granted.
That's an excellent point.
Then we walk slowly. That's the plan.
No, we walk
No, we walk
quickly.
quickly.
Well, but quietly.
Quietly.
You have to be light on your feet, dear.
Did
Oh,
anyone
right.
get a good look at the ground?
Is it lava?
Are there chains?
I will,
It's
Anything that might make sound?
No one looked at the ground.
I was looking at the bats because.
Well, why don't we go in there and we'll go as fast as we can, but we'll look at the ground while we do.
I think it's fair to say that
Prepared.
What's the width of the hallway?
Ooh!
The width of the hallway, I would say one person can fit through at a time. It's not
Cool.
that large.
Okay.
We can be
Have a
super
name.
stealthy through the hallway. I could cast Pass Without a Trace.
Sure.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
Just try it.
It would be as though you were adding, like, I don't know, like a +10 to your stealth.
Wow, though.
I don't know. What
Some
that
of you are
is.
like
Okay.
weirded out by this. You feel like there's a fourth wall that's
I'm
just
just entertained.
really hard on.
Just
It's like
entertained.
being
Yeah.
broken.
Okay.
Let's do it.
It
Pass
is the
without
world of
trace.
many
Yeah.
trains.
All right.
okay.
Doing the sneak. Doing
So we're going to
It'd
quick
be
stealth.
so much easier just
Stealthy
to kill the
stealth.
bats.
Do we all roll stuff?
Quick stealth? Or are you stealthing?
Stealth.
Are we stealthing? Let's just stealth.
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 Give me a stealth check from everybody at a +10.
Add a +10?
You're adding 10 to the stealth check.
Even if
Oh.
it's a nat 1.
Well, can I?
And that one is always a failure.
Do I have myself? and
Well, I
my
had a
as well?
20.
You add
4.
yourself, and then you
Okay.
add a 10 to that.
27.
27.
I had to get 2
I
hits.
hate
15.
15.
24.
I am the
Let's
most
kill.
stealthy
23.
in this group.
God.
And then the one guy who ruins it all.
You guys get to the midway point, and you're walking, and it's really stealthy. And then all of a sudden, Grim, you look down and you see a chain. Sure enough, sort of like set up as like a trip wire. And you go, hey guys, there's a chain. The bats swarm to heaven. You go, and you guys are up and down. You're in the white space.
So the bats did not start swarming until
Until he said, hey guys.
awkward boy decided to trip over chain.
I had to sneeze. There was.
We kill the bats this time. We tried your way. It didn't work.
No, we tried my
No,
way
we
again.
didn't.
Oh my
He
gosh, I
yelled.
only have so many passwords out of choices.
You are back in the room, and all of your spell slots are back.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Other than the ones you cast before you came in. Do you understand?
Okay, got it, yes.
As you go to the white space, the man is sitting in the chair, and he looks like he's breathing heavy.
Oh no.
And you are back in the main room with us.
All right, guys.
There's the chain. By the by.
Yes, and maybe if you can just be a little sneakier, we could have gotten through the back room.
I had to sneeze.
That wasn't a sneeze.
So
Fine.
here's what we can do. Let's go in, be very quiet. What we can do is we will look around real quick, see if we see any traps. We will acknowledge those traps and we will move forward without speaking. I will send a message to you individually. We will pick up from there.
Who is checking
So what?
for traps?
I'll check for traps.
Give me a dexterity, or this would probably be investigation. Investigation.
Now
Oh gosh.
Good guy.
Everything
rolling
is great.
There's not a trap inside.
Can,
I don't even
because
see
we
the
made
chain
this
we
plan,
used.
can I check for him too?
See that trap? It's not even trapped.
Sure.
I fear.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Give me an investigation.
That's a nat 20.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you heading first?
If I do see them, I would like to send a message individually too.
Alright, so Dave takes the lead on this. She sees the chain in the ground, and as she's about to step over the chain, she sees a small pressure plate in the ground that's on the other side of the chain. She sends a message out to everybody, notifying them. Give me stealth checks with your plus 10, because I'm assuming you passed with your checks.
For everyone?
Everyone.
So-
Stealth plus 10.
27.
Plus your modifier?
The worst.
Plus your mod. So give me, look at
20.
yourself. Okay, 20,
29.
29, 27,
17.
17,
24.
24. You very, very
I'm hunting rabbits.
You very, very quietly make your way down to the hallway. As you get there, you get to the door leading out. It looks like a very simple door. There is a lock on the door.
I mage hand the door, but it's locked.
It's locked.
So I'm going to very quietly take out my tools.
Okay. Give me a thieves' tools check.
Ooh.
16.
You rolled a 16.
You rolled it straight 16.
You're adding your dex and your proficiency.
22. 24.
You take the thieves' tools, and as you go to unlock, you're about to lift the final pin, and you realize that there's a little bit of pressure behind that final pin. So you stop and you try to open the door with just the 3 up front, and the door unlocks. And as you peek around to the other side, you see a bunch of ball bearings in a bag that would have unzipped and sort of fallen to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You use mage hand to sort of hold the bag, and as you open the door, you keep the bag sort of upright. It leads you into this sitting space.
Mm-hmm.
There are chairs along the wall. It looks like there's a large bath in the middle of the room, and there is one very large door at the opposite end of this sort of bath room. It almost looks like, and I say bath, but what I mean is like think like an old like bathhouse, like a steam room or something like that. But there's a pool of water in this room. You can walk around the edge of the pool to get to this large door. It is a large door with a circular dial on it.
Do we close the door behind us to the bat room? Yeah.
Yeah, to the back.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna gently gather the ball bearings and
Okay.
put them into my pack for later.
Okay, you're running low on bags because you've been picking up a lot of stuff. I would say until you can find alternate recourse, like
Okay.
you shoving another bag inside
That's
of
fair.
your bag.
Okay.
Like Eric used to do this quite a bit, but even then it was just like, man, that messenger bag's looking a little bulky. Like, yeah.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
leave them.
All right. No, you take them.
Okay.
But that's all you can fit in there for the time being.
Okay.
What's on the dial on the door?
You move forward, and
Yes.
as you look at the dial on the door, it looks like one of those where you can sort of turn it, and it's a square space like this, and it's almost like you can turn the square, and a different picture appears in the square on the
Okay.
door. There are several different pictures that you can cycle through, and as you cycle through the pictures, there is a click. Okay. Here are the pictures that are on the dial of the door. A sun, a generic smile, a generic frown, a gravestone, a picture of a pile of gold, a picture of a cat, a teacup, and a spot that has been scratched out completely. It used to be a picture. If somebody wants to give me an investigation check, roll freaking high.
It was not that.
Just 6.
Any of us?
I think I'm negative 1 at this.
Any of this.
Nat one! Oh my god!
I'll give it my best shot.
What is
for-
it?
For funsies.
No investigation.
22.
6.
What languages do you speak?
Common Dwarvish, Elvish.
Elvish. I'm gonna send you a image. So you guys all take your turns looking at that last spot, and you're having trouble figuring out exactly what it is. You guys notice as Nyx sort of comes forward, and as he comes forward, he studies this sort of symbol, and he's looking at it, and he's trying to like complete the pattern in his head. And Nyx, this is the word. Send it to you via Facebook
Gotcha.
Messenger.
Cool.
Cool.
Yes.
It gets tricky in the Elvish. You don't know if it's that or if it's all of after.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like where you go after you die. Like maybe like a good place, but like I don't know if it's specifically that.
So like the White Room?
Probably.
Okay.
But if you're unsure, then it could be different for everybody.
Well, it's a door.
I'm gonna go over to the water
What are you
while
doing?
they're talking. I want to look at the water. I want to look at the pool. I want to look at the water. I'm not going to touch it yet. I say yes.
You're just staring over the water.
I'm just looking.
You stand over the water and you look in the water, and as you look into the water, your face sort of stares back at you, and then your face moves independently of you and sort of tilts its head.
Okay, I'm going to make a face.
As you make the face, the face in the water smiles and reaches out a hand up like this.
Like, does a hand come out of the water, or do I just see a
it's
hand in the reflection?
You see a hand in the reflection.
Okay, I make a frowny face.
It brings the hand down, and the face in the water changes to Bandy.
Guys, I see Bandy.
Where?
I mean, I don't know if it's Bandy. In the water. Come here, look.
Yeah, I'll look in the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll look. No.
Okay. I'm gonna make another face, like a smiley face.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
10.
As she makes a frowny face, the hand that's sort of outraged, you guys don't see anything until you see the two hands jump out of the water, grab her, and smack her into the water, dragging her into the water deep, deep below. And that's where we're going to take our break for intermission. We're going to get a refill on drinks. We're going to say big thank you who can't be on cam, but I let him stay up way past his bedtime for designing this amazing dungeon for us. A lot of the flowers. He even designed all of the loot at the end of this adventure.
Oh.
A brand new thing that was released, if you were paying attention, on all of the message boards today. From D&D Beyond and homebrewers all over the place released this special thing. So if you were paying attention, you know exactly part of your present. But if not, we're going to take a little break, but we're going to leave the cameras rolling. I think we might turn the sound down so you can hang out and be with us, but we're going to get some drinks real quick. These guys are going to go to bed. It's way past your bedtime. I'll let you know how the adventure goes, but go to bed right now. And we'll see you guys soon. Hi everybody, we are back. Thank you so much for staying tuned while we grab some drinks and stuff like that. We're back, right in the thick of things, right back into the action as Thoe has been dragged underneath the water by a pair of hands that sort of picked her up and sent her into the dark blue abyss. So, Thoe, you are considered grappled. I need you to make a sort of strength check, contested against the strength of the arms pulling you into the water.
Oh, I'm really good at that. I've got a -1.
Yeah.
So I've got a 7.
Nope. You are sort of pulled into the water, and as you're pulled into the water, you're hearing some like music coming.
Can
from
I
the
turn
water.
into a fish?
You certainly can. Yeah. You break the grapple as all of a sudden. What sort of fish are you turning into?
I run that.
A. Ooh, I'm gonna turn
Gonna
into.
have to use words.
Well, I was seeing if there was a like a creature here that's a watery
Sure.
creature.
As that's happening, is anybody else doing anything?
I thought about jumping in, and I think I'm still gonna.
You think you're going to do that? You jump into the water. Give me a perception check as you sort of jump into the water and you see...
That's gonna be an 11. I'm rolling.
You're rolling poopies. So yeah, you jump into the water and you're just a little discombobulated as you sort of dive into the water. You see Thoe being dragged into the water, but you don't quite see the creature that is pulling her into the water. But you guys watch as sort of Grim just sort of dives in sort of head first into the water. You're watching as Thoe transforms herself into that of an undescribed, undetermined fish.
I'm going to be like a minnow, a guppy.
A guppy. She turns herself into a little fish, and as she does, as her shape sort of dissipates, you look forward and you see this mermaid. Is the best way to describe it, as this like mermaid is in the water and sort of flapping her tail, but she's got like long teeth and sort of it's a sort of angry mermaid. And as Thoe sort of disappears, she looks around, she looks over at you, and in the water, you hear the you hear this like hiss in the water, and like little bubbles escape from where the mermaid is. Yeah.
Sweet. If I'm getting close enough, I'm just gonna try to just jab at it. Have a dagger and just.
Okay, you're gonna need to make. You can give me an attack roll.
Sure.
What is your Constitution modifier?
+4.
Okay, that's how many minutes you can hold your breath under the water for.
So that's a long time.
Yeah, that's
I can't
a long
even do it
time.
for 30 seconds.
You are sturdy. You are sturdy.
Okay, so that's
This is at disadvantage.
disadvantage. Damn, that's really good. 2.
You bring the second, but fighting underwater is a unique thing. So as much as you sort of like jab forward, she's just got a little bit more agility and sort of like goes away from you and swims deeper into the water, and pretty soon she is out of sight.
I'm gonna try to make my way up to the surface.
Okay, yeah. You make your way up to the surface, okay, and Thoe is not there. You don't know where she is, but she is nowhere near where you are. Do you hang out in the water?
I want to see what this thing is, so I'm going to try to and see what this thing is.
Okay, so you want to swim deeper into the unknown abyss.
No, I'm going to swim around this thing. I just got out of its arms, so I want to like turn around and see what it is.
It went deep.
You saw it fight with Grim, and then start swimming away.
But I'm teeny tiny.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Yes. Oh, that is a very good one. That is a 21.
You are tantalized as this water looks way deeper than it looks like from the surface, and you see as this thing sort of literally and figuratively turns tail and swims deeper into the abyss. Do you follow it?
Yes.
So what you're saying is you're going to follow this thing deeper into the water.
I just want to see what it is, but I'm not going to go too far.
Okay. You swim deeper and deeper. About how long do you swim for?
Until I realize it's getting away from me and I can't see what it is.
It's after a while, you're keeping pace with it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to keep swimming.
Okay.
Just keep swimming. I should have been a clownfish.
You keep pace, and as you get deeper and deeper, you realize that you are keeping pace with this thing. Give me an intelligence check.
15 plus 2, 17.
As it stops swimming, you realize that you have been keeping pace with something that you should have no right keeping pace with, and that was purposeful. As the predator stops, turns around in the water, and looks over at you. and as it does, it makes an attack roll against you as it pushes forward to come at you.
Oh crap! I'm about to drown, guys.
How long's it been?
She's a fish.
She kept swimming,
Nope.
just kept swimming.
For how long?
I would say good minute.
I'm about to drown, guys.
Can I go back down again?
She's
4 minutes.
You're up on the surface. I don't think you would have any.
That breath.
You can jump back in if you want to, but you have no idea where she is.
True,
You
never mind.
have no idea that she transformed.
Yep, I'm good.
Like nothing like that. 15 to AC.
15. Yes.
Okay. You are immediately snapped out of fish form as that 1 point of HP from the minnow is diminished.
Yep.
And as it does, it sort of like rakes onto you. We will start the countdown clock right now.
I'm swimming to the surface.
Okay. You sort of push against it and make a mad dash forward. What is your movement here in the water? What's your movement speed?
Oh, in the water? I don't
What's
know.
your movement speed
30 feet.
normally? Okay. So you're going and you guys are sort of looking over at the water, but you're not really seeing anything. There's another sort of attack from this thing as it sort of pushes through the water.
I turn into a reef shark.
Okay. You turn into a reef shark.
I'm trying to look for reef sharks so I know it's something.
That's okay. You turn into a reef shark. I would say that give me an intimidation roll. Just give me a d20 and add like 2 or 3 to it.
Okay.
Add 3.
Then that's a 19.
This thing sees you, and as you turn into a reef shark, it sort of recoils in the water and swims deeper and deeper and deeper.
Okay,
Below.
I'm gonna keep swimming to the top, and then I will bounce myself out of the water.
Okay. So you guys watch as a shark jumps out of the water towards you.
And I'll turn back into me once I hit like midair as I go to hit the ground.
Okay.
'Cause,
As the shark flies out of the water and you pull daggers out to start stabbing this thing all over the place, you see a very waterlogged Thoe hit the ground in front of you, soaking wet.
And even with this thing attacking me, I never saw what it was or anything
You
about
didn't.
it. Okay.
It was a mermaid,
It
as
was a
far as you can
mermaid,
tell. It wasn't like any mermaid that you've ever seen before. It would have sort of sharp teeth and claws and stuff like that. But it had a very
I feel like I
long
can
tail.
picture this in my mind. Was it very dark looking? Very
Yeah, very unique
like,
features,
unique
almost
features,
elvish.
yeah. Okay.
Thoe, as you are sort of looking back at the pool, you hear faint music coming from the water.
Weird. Not that music. It's so much like.
Guys, it's a mermaid that sings. I think we should plug our ears. Would I know this? Do I have any sort of arcana or a roll or
The
something?
as you go to say this, the music is gone.
Okay.
Are you alright?
I just got pulled into the water by a really dark, scary mermaid, and I escaped by turning into a guppy, and then I had to turn into a shark because it attacked me. So yeah, I'm okay.
You are a fish?
That's not
Yeah.
surprising at all.
No.
Have you been paying attention?
Yes, but
Is that Thoe?
I don't.
I can.
Just gonna shake off.
Maybe we don't stare into dark pools in the scary house?
I saw. To be fair, I saw Bandy in there, and she was very realistic looking.
So you've seen her twice now, and the first time she was a spider, and the second time she pulled you into a deep pool.
Well, when you say it that way,
I mean, third time's the charm, so.
Next time.
You got higher lip.
I'm going to take a look at the rest of the room.
The dial though.
There, you can give me an investigation check.
Nat 20.
I love when the demon face face.
You're examining the room, and for the most part, as you walked into this room, you saw the pool in front of you. There's the door behind you, leading outward, back beyond. As you are examining the room, you get to the room with the dial on it.
Yeah.
And you're sort of examining the dial, and you guys watch as Mandrake does the thing that he normally does, which is sort of take things into account and do odd things as he sort of changes his perspective on things. And as he changes his perspective on things, he looks and you in the right sort of corner of the room, or furthest away from the pool, furthest away from the door with the dial. you see a small black rock that doesn't fit in with sort of the gray stones that make up the room.
Okay.
I don't think I can be a water animal yet.
You can. You cannot.
I thought it was at third. It's at fourth.
It's at 4th level.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna walk over to the stone, kind of motion them over.
Okay.
This doesn't fit here.
It fits perfectly. It goes right there.
But it's unlike anything else in the room.
How so?
Well, it's darker in color. It doesn't belong.
Do you want me to pick it up?
I don't know if we should touch it, but
Mage hand it.
I'll cast Mage Hand and pick it up.
Does not move.
Okay.
Dave's gonna do like she does. She's gonna get on the ground and just stare at it and look at it and like try to figure anything out about it. Like, does she see anything specific and all that about it?
Give me an investigation check.
It being a black rock.
Nyx is just gonna push it in.
Cool. You're noticing it and you're like, oh my god, the rock has a finger. And it's not a finger, it's Nyx's finger. What is, as he leans over your shoulder, what did you get on your investigation?
16.
You're looking at it and it's very polished. Whatever placed it here, that's the last thought you can have before he sort of reaches forward and presses it in. As he presses it in, there's a click, and as it clicks, the section of the wall that this was up against, this sort of thing opens into this small room that looks to be, for all intents and purposes, a reading nook. It is a large, comfortable chair.
Are there books?
There are bookshelves lining the walls. There are also bookshelves on the ceiling, and you don't know how the books are being held on the ceiling without falling down. There is also a
Yeah, pretty much.
there's a red circular chair that looks very comfortable. It's almost like a large bed almost.
Okay.
Not a throne. There is also a metal box in the room with a handprint on top of the box.
Does it look like an adult hand, like a large hand?
Yeah, it looks just like think about a black box that can open.
Mhm.
You see the hinge, but on top of it is a place for someone to place a hand, a right hand.
Okay.
Measuring hands. Your other right hand.
Did he say raise your right hand? I don't
said-
believe so.
Measure.
He's
He
trying
said
to
measure
figure
hand.
out
But
which
it
hand is going to
was
fit
the
best
right
on the
hand.
box.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take my hand and put it in the handprint.
Okay.
Anything happen? No. I want to examine the box.
While they're doing this, she's plopped on the big comfy thing.
No.
Give me an investigation check on the box.
13. Nothing.
It's a metal box.
box.
It's hollow on the inside. It looks like it could fit any number of things. But you place a hand on it. and-
Zoe, put your hand on it.
I'm putting my hand on it.
Okay. Your hand is on it.
Okay, I'm looking around the room really quick, and I want to assess the books to see if there's like a specific organization or an order to the way that the books are around the room, or if they look like they have any sort of a.
In regards to the library system, you notice that it's not organized in any sort of academia sort of fashion or form. You sort of go around the room and you're looking. Give me an investigation check as you start examining the books around the room.
And 13.
It's enough for you to realize that this is almost organized as if it was a personal collection, where you would organize like by genre rather than any academic or alphabetical or anything along those lines. But as you scan the ceilings and the walls, you all of a sudden get this hair with a 13. I'd say you lift the rug, and sure enough, beneath your feet are other bookshelves lined with books all along the ground.
I'll try my hand on the box as well. Why
Okay.
not? You know,
Nothing.
cool.
It's on the box.
Figured.
I am going
Anyone else?
to cast to detect magic and look all around the room at all the bookshelves and below and above at all these books with detect magic. If you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
Okay.
Does that work on people?
It does work on people.
Interesting.
But for the most part, people put out a general sort of magical aura to themselves, and this is more for summoning. This is more for discerning items.
Just curious.
I mean, it works on a visible creature within you, but I already know a lot about you.
You get this sense as she sort of looks around the room. The only magic that you see in this room is on the box itself, the black
Okay.
box, other than the items found around the room, and it's conjuration magic.
Oh. I share this with them.
So should we stop touching the box or keep touching the
Probably
box?
Not.
Well, there's a good chance that something's going to conjure into the box, possibly, if the right person touches it.
Conjure
Since
into.
literally everything we've tried
touches
is
it in the
trying
right
to kill
way.
us here. Maybe.
But you might have to say something. Some things have to be activated with a word.
I'm gonna take a look at all the bookshelves.
Sure. What are you looking for?
Any kind of code, like
Okay, give me an investigation check.
20.
You look and you look with the Codemaster's eyes, and some of the books have writing on the spines of them, and you can't really find or see any sort of code amidst. And the titles range on all litany of topics of cooking, history, religion, magical items. You find some spell books. You find any litany of books scattered all throughout the room on various subjects. What's funny is you find books about sort of interests that would interest everyone in the room. You find song books, and you find books of legendary weapons. You find hunting guides. You find flora and fauna. You find medicinal herbs that grow in this part of the kingdom and beyond. You find a treasure trove of subjects on the books.
I'm going to look for any area of books that seems different than the rest. Like at a desk, a small section of books, or near the box, a small section of books.
No. As you start looking for this, I would say you don't even need to roll for this. There are no books that are not on a shelf. There are no books in a chair. There are no books. The only other object in the room is this large, circular, red, comfortable chair.
That
and the
Dave's
box.
already sitting on.
And Dave's already sitting, and it is super comfy.
It's
and
nice.
Is it warm? It might be a little warm. Like, it's
Is
really
it,
nice.
Like it's like someone's been sitting here warm. Like
No, just like comfortable,
Like, just-
warm.
okay.
Like, yeah.
I'm going to grab a book and sit in the chair. Like a book that looks interesting to me.
What
Like
book?
I'm going to grab one on flora and fauna.
Cool. You find a flora and fauna book, something that would appeal to you, something you would read in the library back home. You go to reach for it, and it does not come out of the wall.
I'm going to start testing books.
After a good 5 minutes of her frantically grabbing for every single book in the room, on the floor, on the sidewalls, on the ceiling itself, she cannot pull any of the books out.
I'm gonna go grab a flora and fauna book that she was going after, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to pull it off the wall.
Give me a strength check.
That's going to be 24.
Grim goes over to the sidewall, plants both feet against the wall, and tries to rip this book out. The veins on his muscles start popping, and you almost see like the sleeve of his shirt like tearing a little
Makes
bit,
sense.
like as it's going.
No big
But
deal.
even with the 24, this book doesn't budge an inch.
I am going to go to each of the books that is anything about us, anything that would pertain to us, and try to push them in
Okay,
slightly. Nothing?
doesn't budge, doesn't move.
Okay, and nothing else showed up as magic other than the box.
The box itself.
okay, so she's
So the
sitting
only
there.
ones who haven't touched.
I'm going to grab the box and sit in the chair.
Box doesn't move, but you go over to where the box is. Do you place your hand on the top?
Yeah.
Okay. You place your hand on the top. You feel a slight tinge of magical energy still left over from the detect magic.
Hey guys, what was that?
I'm gonna cast. Crap! What can I cast?
What?
While your hand's on the box?
Yes, I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm like a druid craft, like a cantrip.
Okay. Thoe goes to cast Druid Craft as she starts going through the incantation of casting Druid Craft, and you hear
Where did I hear it from?
inside the box.
Inside the box, something came in. I tried opening it.
You open the box, and inside the box is a book about druids through the ages. Below that is a druid crafting box. Is a book about druid craft and the druid spells found therein. There's also some histories of ancient sort of druids that lived in Wonder and some of their spell books.
I want this box. No, in real life, I want this box.
You look on the walls, and sure enough, there are several books throughout the room that are no longer on the shelves.
I know how to work the box, guys.
And how's that?
Well, I mean, sort of. I mean, I cast Druidcraft and it conjured Druidcraft books, so I don't know if you can concentrate or if you have to cast a spell or channel magic, but I know how to get books in the box.
May I?
Yes?
Take your books.
Okay, I'm gonna try closing it and just thinking about sending the books back.
You close the box, and you don't even have to think about it. As you close the box again, the books immediately look as if they're coming out of the wall. They're and like being brought to their place.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand on the hand.
Okay.
Anything?
Nope.
No? I'm gonna place my hand on it and cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
Nothing? Okay.
Day's gonna get up after seeing books for her. She's gonna get up and she's gonna put her hand on and open the box.
Okay. What are you thinking about as you open the box?
What she would be thinking about right now is that she really wants to find Bandy and get out of here.
You place it, and you're like, man, I really wish I could find Bandy and get out of here. And as you think that, you hear, and inside the box is a book about mythological creatures that used to live, spirits and legends, and things of that sort.
She's grabbing the book and she's going back to the chair and starts reading.
Yeah. Sure enough, it takes a while, but you find a legend of the Bandersnatch. You know, a mythical creature that was supposed to be a font of magic until the race of man was able to find a way to harness that particular magic and use it for their own purposes.
Watching all this, women go like do the same thing. Man on the box.
What do you think about?
Like weapons, things like fighting styles.
Boom. A stack of 3 or 4 books up here. Fighting styles, weapons, things of that sort.
Local
I'm
flora.
gonna put my hand and think about a map of the house.
You place your hand on there, and there's a slight rumbling as the box sort of shakes a little bit, and there is no sound, but as you lift the lid of the box, you see a rudimentary hand-drawn sort of map of the floors of the house, and you see things. You see the room as you walked in, the refuse room, and you see is there like almost like walls in that room with all the garbage and things of that sort. You see the stairs leading up, and then you see the lever outlined as it goes down as the sconce is there. You see the door. On the door is 7 symbols. What languages do you speak?
I speak Elvish.
You see the one that was missing was the Elvish symbol for heaven.
Okay.
Or the afterlife, or whatever that may be.
Okay.
But you have a rudimentary map of the house.
Okay, so what are we missing? What haven't we been to yet?
The only thing you haven't been to is the second floor. The second floor is is 2 rooms, and they look like bedrooms. There's one that's a smaller bedroom and one that is a much larger bedroom. The larger bedroom has an odd configuration. It is a circular room with a bed in the center of the room and sort of random furniture objects scattered around the room. But you realize as you look at this and you look at the map of the house that this circular room that you're in is directly above or below the bedroom. That there's just a portion of the house that is circular. And you start hearkening back to the circle that was surrounding the...
Is it concentric?
Concentric, yes. The bedroom is smaller than the circle of the room that you're in, and the circle surrounding the house is bigger than this particular circle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I try something? Because I can't see in the dark in this house. But is there a way that I could be able to find out how I can see in this house?
How would you go about doing that?
I mean, if this box gives us something that we're looking after or
Sure.
looking for, if I put my hand on the box and I start thinking of like ways of using other senses to navigate the
Sure.
house.
You probably get a book about like owls and things of that sort. There are dog-eared pages about sonar and being able to
Echolocation. things
Yeah,
like that.
second sight, blind sight is a magic that has been studied in a sense that has been studied for quite some time.
I'm going to place my hand on the box and think of uses for mimic blood.
You find a book, and inside of it is a sort of potion making book, and you see that mimic blood is basically used for any spells involving illusion spells and things of that sort. You discover that there is no magic inherent in mimic blood; it is just anatomy and what they are able to do.
Okay.
Okay, so did anybody get anything that we could use to get out of this room?
Well, I mean, we've got the map, and the map tells us that there's 2 rooms upstairs, and one of them's right above us, and maybe we should check out those 2 rooms.
So we go back through the bathroom, or we go.
I might have a shortcut.
Yeah,
That
that'd
scares me for some reason.
be- I'm all
What is your
ears.
shortcut?
As opposed to the back.
So I'm going to jump up and cast Sword Burst to try to burst through the floor.
Cool.
Okay. Give me an attack roll as you jump off of this and cast Sword Burst.
Okay, so I roll a d6.
Yes. What is Sword Burst? You create a
1d6.
momentary circle of blades that sweep around you. You're not shooting this; it surrounds you.
Yeah.
It's like a shield.
Yeah. So I was jumping up kind of at an angle so that when it swiped to the side,
Okay.
it could cut through the ceiling above.
Okay. Cool. How close are you guys to Mandrake?
Are you relaying information before doing this?
No.
I didn't relay.
I need everybody then to give me
Yikes.
a dexterity
Darn it.
saving throw.
Sorry, guys.
6.
9.
6.
6.
14.
18.
9.
9.
16.
I was
16.
eating orange slices.
What's your spell save DC?
I rolled a 5.
I'm pretty sure it's a 14. You're looking for your spell save DC. Anybody that
These
rolls
things
a
are.
14 or below,
It's 13.
13? Okay. So if you rolled a 13 or below, roll a d6 for me.
I did. I got a 5.
You take 5 points of damage as these swords sort of echo out from Mandrake and have no effect on the wall or the ceiling, as they are spectral blades that sweep around you and only affect living creatures.
Can I see on the map if there's a way to get straight upstairs without going?
You start looking at the map and you're studying it. You realize that there is a set of stairs that you could take, but they are back through the treasure room, and off in a corner of the treasure room there was a large sort of like concentrated pile of armor. If you push the armor to the side, you can. There are stairs leading up to the bedroom itself. It's almost like a boo hole.
There's another way upstairs, but we have to go back into the treasure room.
So,
Then let's do it.
So
What about
to
the
clarify,
the dial?
yeah.
It had a pile of gold on it.
somebody think of a code,
Well, no,
lock
we could try
something
that.
to box. A code key, something, anything.
Like a codex?
Sure.
I think of a codex and put my hand on the box.
A decipher.
Like a codex specific to that dial in this house.
Like
Okay, you think of the dial. You see some writing on paper, and it looks like it was ripped out of a notebook. There's still. It almost looks like it was freshly ripped out of a notebook.
Okay.
And it's the ramblings of somebody who's writing on paper. It's written in common and it's abstract thoughts of like happy equals happiness. No, happy equals bringing you to happy. Gold equals, and there's letters and numbers that sort of like push outward, and you see all of the symbols and little notes and scribbles next to them, and you realize that there are. He keeps writing the word deep magic, and writing old, and all the symbols have little things leading up from it. And you look at the happy symbol, and you see the word childhood, you see the word joy, you see the word birthplace. You look at the sad symbol, and you see catharsis. You see forced meeting. You see breakup. You see all of these different things, and they're all sort of written down. If you want to give me a specific symbol that you're looking at, like
gold, the pile of gold.
You look at the pile of gold, and it says treasure, worth, riches, and then underneath it says spiritual or otherwise.
I'm gonna keep that in my hand, but I want to try one more thing with the box.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about an overlay of a codex for that dial and the map that Thoe's holding.
Okay.
Some kind of an overlay that would show me where on the map these symbols take me.
Okay. You look, and there's a shuddering, and then as you open the box again, the paper is just a mess of ink and
Nothing. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw that away. I'm gonna share it with everyone, but specifically Thoe, because I feel like she would be able to figure it out.
Sure.
I'm not getting anything that he didn't get from it.
No, you realize that the dial is not concrete. Turning it to the gold, the only thing you can pick up from this is turning it to the gold, depending on who turns it. It's not bringing you to gold. It's a magic that taps into bringing you
Desire for wealth?
not even that, but your desire for something, your
Okay.
materialistic desire to get something, or in the
Okay.
Are you sharing this?
Yes.
So, Bandy's what we need, right?
Yes.
So then wouldn't she be our gold? Wouldn't she be our treasure,
Or she would be the
Our
smiley face,
Money's money.
the happiness.
The one thing I know is if I turn it to gold, I'm going to gold.
Or the cat, because she's kind of like the cat right now. Maybe we should just try different ones. Go into that room and try different ones. Or
It's worth a shot, and I feel like we're running out of
the
time,
next
but
room.
we don't have so many.
Let's go try the door first, and if the door doesn't work, let's try the treasure room, and let's try the stairs up into the bedroom.
What if the
Okay.
frown?
So how about I turn the dial to gold? It takes us to the room full of gold because I want gold. And then
But
we
you
go
can't
upstairs.
take the gold there anyway.
I won't
Get to the
touch
staircase.
it, but it's gold.
Okay, we'll try it. Let's just go.
Go.
I turn the dial and open the door.
The door turns a black color. As it does, it sort of swings outward. You look on an idyllic scene, and it looks to be a gnomish village.
I'm afraid if we go through here, we're going to be leaving this house and where she is.
We're not going through.
I close the door.
Can I turn it to the happy face and open the door?
Yes, you turn it to the happy face, and as you turn it to the happy face, you guys see the image of Bandy, sort of arms crossed in the corner of the room, and a weathered woman staring at the door leading out of the room forward and sort of peeking through the crack as Bandy is sort of like frowning, staring forward, and as she turns, she sort of glances off in the corner and sees you guys all standing at the door.
I do this.
She gets up. And very quietly comes over to where you are and stands at the door and looks, and she steps through, and as she steps through, there is this phasing sound. Like there's this weird sort of like the sound of something powering down or off, or like like a pop, an atmospheric change as she starts stepping through the door, and the magic surrounding the door sort of like fizzles and shakes, and she sort of steps back. As she steps backward away from the door, the hag turns around and looks at all of you and comes forward in order to attack. I need everybody to roll initiative one more time.
There we go.
Oh, crap.
15.
That's gonna be 20, sir. Or I'm sorry, 19.
15.
Alrighty. Hang on. 20 to 25. No, 15 to 20.
15.
Oh,
All three of you got
seriously?
15?
19.
19 for, so Grim is going first.
Give me
Hold up. Perfect.
Try to get
11.
that.
13 on the die.
Okay. Nyx.
Yeah.
And then Drake. Ladies?
6. 4.
Thoe.
Okay.
And Day. And our girl got a nat 1, so she's going last. Alright, Grim, you are up first as this sort of hag sort of turns around and looks at you and screams, and as she does, water gushes from her mouth.
And this is something I can actually see her now.
You can actually see her now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What's the distance between her and I?
10 feet.
Sweet. I want to like lunge towards her
Cool.
and just pull my daggers and just.
Alright, give me an attack roll.
Nice.
Nat 1? Alright, let's pull a card.
Oh, no.
God damn it! You forget about the
Those
cards
days were
too.
like-
Yeah.
5 of spades,
Yes, sir.
so it's a reverse of fortune, so you... Holy shit.
Son of a bitch.
Kill it immediately.
Yeah. So you actually come forward, and as you come forward, you trip forward as a spell glances off your shoulder a little bit as you trip going into the room. As it glances off your shoulder, you lean forward with the daggers, and as you do, you rake the daggers down in a movement that slices at her hand. As it does, she drops the magical wand that she had in her hand. The wand hits the ground, and as it does, it shatters and breaks in half.
Bruh.
Whoa.
That was your move. It is her
Wow.
turn. She, wow, okay.
Thank you.
Merciful.
Merciful
Okay,
card.
she will make a claw attack at you.
Yeah.
And reaches
Doesn't
forward.
matter.
And she will do, does a 16 hit your AC?
Yeah.
Okay, she does, let's see what we got
Praise
here.
the Lord, baby Jesus.
She does 10 points of slashing damage as she rakes her claws against your chest. And
I'm
as
the
a-
tank. Remember
yeah.
this.
As she does,
Somebody save my tank.
she rushes forward, and as she does, she knocks you down to the ground and rolls on the ground. And as she does, she changes her appearance to look like that of you. That is her.
And do I see her like change into the?
You do.
Nice.
Damn it.
It's not my turn. I can't say anything.
Nyx.
How close is he to her?
You see two Grims sort of rolling around on the floor, attacking each other.
That's what I want.
Oh wow.
I can't say it, can I?
And one
Speaking
looks
is a free
injured.
action, but no, it's not your turn.
Yep.
One looks injured, one doesn't? Or they both look injured?
They both look one looks injured, one looks like they're bleeding. The other one has a blood stain on their tunic.
Okay.
Well, I have no idea who's who. So,
Done.
I don't know. I don't know if there's much I can really do at this point. Where's Bandy?
Bandy is close to the door, and she's sort of backed up against the door.
All right. Are we between her and the door?
No.
I'll get myself between her and what's going on.
You watch as Nyx for the first time sort of like interposes himself
Yeah.
and sort of reaches. As that happens, Bandy sort of looks up at you. You've never really spoken to her or done anything, but as you do this, she sort of wraps her arms around your waist and hugs you from behind as you sort of stand there, like interposing yourself.
Yeah.
That is Nyx's turn. Next up, we have Mandrake.
There's water coming out of either of these two people?
Nope.
That was fun.
Can I smell the ocean still?
You can.
It's in that direction.
Can I pinpoint where the smell is coming from? Like,
That direction.
You can give me your bonus action as a perception.
okay.
Roll.
12.
You know it's coming from the general direction that the two of them are
The
rolling on the
ocean's
ground.
great.
6 seconds.
I'm going to join Nyx in that general direction.
Okay. No movement from Mandrake. Thoe.
Okay, I'm going to cast locate object on him on items. What items do you have that I know about that you would have?
You know about you know
Those brand new
specifically
shoes.
about the gloves that he just bought.
Oh, yeah.
Leather
Okay, gloves. Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
cast
the
locate
look.
object on the gloves.
Okay.
And so that I can figure out which one is him. I'm going to speak and point that person out to them. I'm also going to use my bonus action. Can I use a bonus action?
Yeah, you sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you, and the spell can locate a specific object known to you. If it's in movement, you can tell the movement that it's in.
Okay. So I know which one is him.
For the time being, as long as
For
you
right now.
keep your eyes on the
Right.
object.
And I will keep my eyes on him.
Okay.
I'm using my bonus action to cast Healing Word as a bonus action
On who?
on him.
Okay, is that touch?
No, it's a bonus action and it's word.
Okay.
It's verbal only.
All right.
That's why it's less healing.
Give it a
It's
love.
only 1d4 plus 3.
Yeah.
5.
Clever. You watch as the wound on one of the fighting figures sort of closes, and as it does, you hear a voice from the ground saying, "Thoe, wrong one."
Oh shit.
Next up, Day.
Oh wait. It was the voice. Never mind.
It was just a voice.
I mean, was it? Did you heal?
I mean, I did cast Locate Object, which I believe has verbal and somatic components. Yes, it has verbal, somatic components.
Yeah.
So I said, you guys know I did it because I said
She
it.
casts
and I-
locate object, and she's pointing at one of them. That one
And I
healed,
healed him.
and you heard Thoe, wrong one.
Okay.
I trust her. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level on the one that she didn't heal.
Okay. What is Dissonant Whispers? Is that a save?
Attack save, yes, Wisdom 13. You whisper a dissonant melody, the one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking in terrible pain. Target must take a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, was it failed? It takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as speed allows away.
You guys watch. You guys watch as the one of the creatures on the ground grabs their head and starts roll damage for me, and backs up away towards the window leading outside of the room. As one of the Grims sort of grabs their head.
It's actually 4d6 at 2nd level. I apologize.
Are you casting it at 2nd level?
Yeah.
All right, say that next time.
Did I? Sorry.
Oh no! You're good. If you're gonna cast a spell, especially before
Double
the attack
check,
lands,
just to make sure.
say,
Got it.
"Hey, I'm casting this at 2nd level or 1st
Okay.
level." Okay.
Do you want me to roll for it or leave it at first?
No, roll 4d6. I trust you.
All right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. You watch as this thing sort of grabs, as Grim grabs his head and starts screaming outward, and as he screams outward, he looks over at you and like tears streaming down his face.
The one. Okay.
That's back towards the window.
Okay.
It is Chloe's. No, it is Bandy's turn. Bandy's gonna like turn around and look and also cast Dissonant Whispers. This thing grabs its. Grim grabs its head again, and he starts like screaming. And as he screams one more time, there's a shift in emotion as he reaches out towards Bandy, and Bandy shakes her head. Grim, it is your turn.
And you said that like talking is a free action, so
Yeah.
I could say something and then attack?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to look at Tweedledee and be like, what did we do in the room? And then I'm just going to lunge back over at the impersonating self with my daggers and just like try to...
Give me an attack roll.
Okay, that's 17.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay, within the dagger, that's going to be 1d4. This one. 24 plus 6. That's 2, 8.
8 points of damage.
Yeah.
You see as this the other Grim walks forward and throws the daggers inside. I need you to give me a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh Jesus. 12.
You feel this effect take hold. As this other Grim sort of looks forward, all of a sudden the concentration on the other spell drops, and you see that you guys were right as this thing get pushed up against the window, and you watch as this thing looks towards you, and as it does, it takes its own finger and snaps it in half, and as it does, the color drains from Grim's face, and he goes pale white as he drops to 0 hit points immediately. But as he's doing that, you hear a voice in the back of your head that says, "It's been a long time since we had a good hunt. You're not going down." And as that happens, the color returns to you, and that feralness, that beating in your heart pushes through, and as you drop to the ground, you come forward, and his eyes are gone. All you see is black eyes in him, and you are not at 0 hit points. You are at the same amount of hit points. You just made the DC.
18, nice.
It was the DC of 11. You hit a 12.
Nice.
So you're fine.
Sweet.
Yeah. It is Nyx's turn.
How close are you?
He said
I'm
he's
on
right
it.
up on it, so he
Yeah.
is in between you
Come
and
on.
the creature.
Be careful,
I
y'all.
can't. I know.
I would say
range
you have a spot. You have a spot if you aimed behind it towards the window.
Yeah, I'll do that, I guess.
Fighters take collateral damage. It's part of D&D.
I know. I was gonna do it anyways. I just hate that he's so close. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Ice Knife at first level.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. Is this a Dex save or an attack roll?
Attack save Dex 13. I'm not aiming at the target, I guess,
Okay.
because.
Give me an
yeah.
attack roll.
It wouldn't be an attack roll for aiming.
The knife hits and then it explodes.
Yes.
So this is seeing if you can get the knife to land in the creature, and if you get it to land, it takes 1d8 piercing. So make a ranged spell attack on the target. So give me an attack roll. Add your spell casting modifier to it.
It's a attack save.
It does. It
sorry,
is.
I'm just not.
If you read
following.
the lettering of the spell, it says make a ranged spell attack against the target.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you still need to land the knife to hit. So
Gotcha.
roll a d20, add your spellcasting modifier.
Nat 20.
Trey Sandstone, man.
First off, how do you want to do this?
My man.
I'm going straight for the heart with the eyes.
You guys watch. As Bandy is sort of wrapped around. She's cast a spell, but she's wrapped her arms around Nyx. Nyx takes his hand, starts sort of muttering an incantation, and as he does, this ice knife appears in his hand. He picks it up and he waits, and he throws it. Everyone in the room, give me a perception check. as this knife flies through the air. You are a little preoccupied, not you. Not you. No. You're fine. But not Grim. Grim is turned the other way.
She got
Oh,
a
so I don't need to give a perception check?
No, you give
got
her
a
Cool.
nat one.
Nat 1.
19.
5.
Though
I know.
only one to notice as this knife flies through the air, and you're paying attention to it. You're sort of watching. You two are watching the hag, and you're sort of fighting. The knife slides underneath the arm, and you swear for a split second as this knife embeds itself that little wings come out from it.
From the knife?
From the knife itself, and there's a small tail on the end of it. And as the knife glides forward, it doesn't land and explode. It embeds itself, goes through her chest, and as she turns to look at the wound, that's when the knife explodes. Sending, so there's a large gaping hole, and as she reaches forward towards you, that's when the knife explodes, sending ice shards through her back. And she falls, lands on the ground, and as she falls, it just puddle of seawater on the ground. You're out of initiative. Good job, guys.
First kill.
Wizards, man.
What?
Yeah.
What? I thought he was a druid.
We don't have a wizard.
Wizards are tight.
Am I still in wolf form?
Who's a wizard?
You do go a little feral, but as she dissipates into
It starts
water,
coming
you drop
out.
out of it,
Yeah, I got you.
and you're feeling good.
I'm following you up.
You're freaking
Tweedledee!
You were this close from being the first person in the group to be making death saving throws.
Bro, for real though.
All right.
I run over to the
Bandy.
Bandy runs forward, and as she gives you a big hug, and as she gives you a big hug, there's a bit of rumbling in the house as that blue smoke that you are so familiar with sort of creeps its way up the stairs, and he goes, I cannot thank you enough. This room, in terms of the Nexus, is a seat of power. And as long as she was here, this area, this house, all of it was tainted, and it spread outward. I taught them how to minimize the damage. You may have seen the stones themselves to sort of contain the power, but this house, all that lies within it, if you will have it, is yours.
Home base, guys. Woo!
So no more of the tree then. Now we have this. A source of power and money.
You were granted and as you say that, he sort of bows his head, and as he bows his head, the night sky that is outside sort of flickers, and the sun comes out.
Can you tell us about the door?
Yes, I could, but I find, like most things in life, it's more exciting if you find out for yourself. And he disappears in a puff of blue smoke out the window.
The money.
Give me investigation checks.
That's gonna be 18.
18. 21.
Oof, not as good as that 16.
23.
Okay, let's go down the line a little bit. Day, I would say that as you go out, you sort of open the door outside of this room, expecting to see the darkened hallway, but instead you find a litany of bedrooms now lining the second floor that were not there before. Before you saw 2 bedrooms, now there are 5 of them, and you've sort of opened one of the doors leading forward, and as you do, you see a very cozy sort of room. It's very plain and simple. There's a writing desk. There's an area with sort of a chalkboard that you could write things on, and you sort of, by process of elimination, find that there's one particular room with sort of climbing holds on the walls, so you could prop things on or put your feet on or lounge about and hang in different areas, and you find rooms as if they were custom built for all of you, and sort of the house responding to you as the new keepers of the Nexus, changing itself. So start thinking in character of the room that a house would build for you intuitively.
Oh god, I know that.
Okay. As that's you go into your room and I'm sure it's opulent. It's plush for the most part. There is a small portrait in the corner next to the bed of your other. And next to that is a small red jewel. It is a red spinel. And it is just resting very carefully next to the portrait.
Should I pick it up? It's just like a red jewel, like. Okay.
You harken back to a time where you and this other person would talk about, oh, one day when we've made it, we'll just be swimming in this. So it means something to you that it would be there. What did you roll on your...
18.
Yeah, you're sort of going around the room and you find... you run downstairs back to where all of the gold and things were. I'm sure Mandrake hot on your heels. A lot of the gold seems to have dissipated, and as it dissipates, you see the mummified forms of the protectors going with them. But as the gold dissipates, you find there's still a good amount of gold left, so much so that there is 5,075 gold pieces.
How much? Say that again.
5,075 gold pieces still left behind in this wide open space.
Okay.
Tucked in the corner are several other things. You find a bag that's sort of tucked in the right-hand corner of the room. Looks very nondescript, sort of purplish color. And that's the only thing you sort of find in the room, other than that all of the gold that's still sort of littering the ground. You rolled fairly high yourself.
21.
Yes. So you're sort of looking around the space, the main room, as everyone sort of runs out. You find a small pouch on the ground. As you pick up this pouch, you find 4 beads inside. Give me an Arcana check, or you can use something else to figure out what these beads are.
18.
You know exactly what these are. You studied these when you were learning all various things. These are a very unique magical item. They're very limited. There are 5 of them. They're called beads of force. You know these beads. These beads are basically ones that you can take them, you can throw them, they will hit a creature, and boom, bubble boy. No spells go in, nothing goes out for a whole minute. This creature takes like you can look up the spell on D&D Beyond, think of D&D Beyond, but I think it's 5d6 of force damage, and they are captured in this bubble. Anything that's pushed back by the bubble is shoved outward by a great deal of force. You find 5 of those.
I find 5
Beads.
beads.
Beads of force.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you roll?
I rolled a 23.
Okay, you rolled the 23, so you're looking around. We'll get to you in a second. What about you?
16.
16. You are sort of searching around, and you go back to, I guess, the library. I think that would draw you the most. You find, as you're looking, the books are still there, but as you step into the room, there's this comfortable feeling as you sort of relax on the bed, and without touching it, there is the...
I go look in the box.
It's a very old book. And it's called The Illustrations of Wonder. And inside the book is detailed descriptions on how you can imbue drawings or ink with magical properties. And as you flip through the book, you realize that there are hand-scribbled notes at the end of the book, and somebody wrote the word tattoo, ! And circled it, and beneath it are the jewels that you would need in order to imbue tattoos with magical properties, to permanently increase saving throws, to permanently increase stats, to add spells to a creature's skin. You also find a small candle on top of the book, and it's the first non-sort of magical item, non-book item that you found in the box. As you take this book out, which I'm going to call the tattoo book, you find an item that was created by your youngest child.
Okay.
It is a skeleton skull with a candle implanted in the top of the skull.
Okay. And I don't know anything about it yet. I just find it.
You just find it.
Okay. Can I detect magic on it just to at least find out?
Sure, conjuration. Conjuration mixed with a little necromancy.
Okay.
You guys all sort of convene after you find your items. As you are looking through, it is you, Mandrake, who are go and like, well, we have a house, perfect. And you run up to the roof of the house, and sure enough, there's a wide, sort of flat spot with, of all things, a hat rack up on the flat spot of the roof. But coiled around the hat rack is a rope.
Okay. I go and take a closer look at the rope.
You find some arcane sigils. Give me an Arcana check as you sort of examine this rope.
That one.
It's a cool ass rope, homie.
It's a nice rope.
I will say for brevity's sake, as you are coming downstairs, you show the rope to either Thoe or you would show it to Nyx because he's a druid. But you show him the rope. Nyx, you immediately identify this as a particularly fond tool used by rogues called the rope of climbing. If you hold on one end of the rope and use the command word, the rope animates.
Okay.
And can lift you to certain stories, and you can command the other end to move towards a destination of your choosing. It is a very unique
Nice
rope and in the right hands. As that happens, you hear, as you all are sort of convening in the main area, with you coming downstairs from the room holding onto your sort of gem that you have hold on to, do you share that with everyone?
She wouldn't openly share it, but she would have found like some string or some leather to tie it around her and keep it like.
You notice a very pretty necklace that looks hastily put together, but that Day is wearing. That Day is wearing very proudly and openly, or underneath your shirt, tucked in your shirt.
It would be like as if it was sitting there, and if it's in her shirt, it's in her shirt. If it's not, it's not.
Perfect. So you guys watch as everyone sort of convenes in the main area, and then you hear Bandy yelling from the room that was filled with garbage.
Go taking out after that voice.
There's a pedestal in the room now. There's candles lining the room. There is no garbage in this room. And on the pedestal is a large oval object.
Okay.
And Bandy's like jumping up and down.
Is that what you're looking for? Is that the magic?
Baby.
Whose?
My baby.
Oh God. God's.
Your baby.
Your baby.
Your baby.
Not my baby.
Oh God. I'm gonna walk over to it and just rest my hand on it.
You feel warmth coming from this oval object.
Oh,
It's an egg.
it's an egg.
The minute you say it's an egg, there's a and the egg starts cracking. As it does, a small head pokes out, and Bandy starts jumping up and down, and looking at it. And sure enough, this very, very, very small black creature with wings and a tail, the likes of which Wonder has not seen for quite some time, pops its head out.
Is
I have posted in the Discord
ooh.
the recent stats for something that was released today and created as a night fury pokes its head out of the egg, a night fury hatchling, and sort of comes out of the egg and sort of looks at all of you and crawls up on Bandy's shoulder and sort of blinks a couple of times, and as it coughs, a little bit of blue flame
Oh my God.
comes out of its
Bandy
mouth.
has a night fury.
Because no 7-year-old or 4-year-old would write an adventure without them getting a dragon at the frickin' end of the adventure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited.
We need to name it.
Obviously, its
Well,
name
it's a
is
baby.
Blue.
It has no teeth.
Shadow.
As he goes, shadow. I think Bandy goes, shadow.
Done. Says the name.
And there's a brief pause as you all stop and take a deep breath in your new home with a new pet and safe digs. And that is where we're going to end the adventure with the faint sound of knocking coming from the basement. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this amazing adventure. I wanted them to have a little base, a little place to call their own. And with that amazing adventure, with that amazing killing throw of killing a sea hag, all of these characters are now level 4. You guys can level up. Wizards start getting VA around this level, but we don't have any, so it doesn't matter.
Wink.
He looks at me and goes, what does that mean?
What is VA? So thank you all so much for tuning in. We cannot thank you enough for making Wonder what it is. There's always a spot at this table for you. Tune in on Thursday to cheer on the newbies as we get ready to roll and get them ready to roll for a brand new game of D&D. We love you all. As always, please go out in the world, find other people that share your passions, find other people that share your love for storytelling, and go connect. Indigo Connect.